I always love how abruptly they end. Hello! Hope you enjoyed that soothing intro. And welcome to today's special stream. I woke up this morning and did not want to play God of War 2 today. I didn't want to do a lot of things today. But you know what? I was a big boy. I went to work. All right. I took care of all my tasks. Okay. Took care of all sorts of non-work related chores I had to do. But I'm tired and just don't have the emotional bandwidth, the capacity to engage with God of War 2 right now. I want something familiar, relaxing, but I can't give up on you, my friends, my dear friends, my cohorts. So I'm here to hang out, to have a chill stream, a hangout stream, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do to pass the time until I remembered what today is. You see what today is? Is Mario Day. It's March 10th, which makes today Mario Day. And I thought, what better way to pass the time than to play some Mario? When I was a wee bab, of course, I was fascinated by Nintendo's consoles, but it took me a while to get one of my own. But I had neighbors that had an SNES, or cousins who had an N64. They had an N64 at church, a youth group, and people would play Super Smash Bros. And that's, I feel like, one of my earliest gaming experiences was being handed a controller to play Super Smash Bros. And they were like, you should pick a character to play as. And I'm looking at the whole roster, and I don't know any of the characters, really. And I remember I picked Link. He was a white guy with a sword. I felt I could relate to him. But I didn't really have many Nintendo consoles early in my life. It's not like my parents had any, or I had an older sibling or anything. But my first gaming console I did get was a Game Boy Advance. I grew up primarily playing games on the PC. But I did eventually save up enough of my own money to buy a used Game Boy Advance not long after it came out. And I loved that thing to death. Played the heck out of it. But in terms of Mario games, I remember having friends who owned the ports of the SNES Mario games. So Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, and I guess what else do they do? Do they do Super Mario Bros. 3, I think, was another one of those? I owned, or I didn't own any of those, but I knew friends who had them. Um, did I do that? I didn't do that. I don't know what that was. Mario vs. Donkey Kong, spiritual successor to Donkey Kong. What do they call it? 93, I think, which was not. It's not really like the Donkey Kong arcade game, but instead it's almost more like a puzzle platformer. You play as Mario, and you got to navigate a little screen and solve puzzles, move keys around, and avoid enemies. And I loved that game, Mario vs. Donkey Kong on the Game Boy Advance. Drake beat me to it that time. I know. I'm trying to stay on top of it. Okay. Yeah. What else though? I played Mario and Luigi, the RPG, when I was younger. And I guess when I finally got a Nintendo DS, I did play New Super Mario Bros. But the platforming, I don't know, was never really. The 2D platformers were never. I was never crazy about them. I like them. But honestly, what I remember the most about New Super Mario Brothers was the mini games that you could play with friends via DS download play. that was a revelation. With the Game Boy Advance, you always had to carry a link cable around to connect with another Game Boy Advance. But with the DS, everybody had the wireless functionality built in. So anybody with a DS, you don't even have to own the game. But as long as one person's got the game, no cable required, you can play with other people. And that was great. I just knew so many people who had DSs. They don't necessarily have every game under the sun, but New Super Mario Brothers had a bunch of those little mini games that were just fun to play with others. But when I did eventually get a Nintendo DS, which again was before I had a home console, I didn't have a GameCube. I did buy a Wii at the end of 2006. And again, I scrounged up every dollar and cent I could to save up for buying my own Wii. But before that, I guess in 2005-ish, I would have bought the Nintendo DS. Electric Blue, original model Nintendo DS. And I bought 2 games with it at launch. One was Nintendogs, which was I think it was the Labrador version. They had multiple different ones, right? And Super Mario 64 DS, which is the remake port of sorts of Super Mario 64. And I love the heck out of that game. That game has all of the same mini games that you can play with others from New Super Mario Bros. But also, yeah, had just true blue multiplayer. Different characters that you could play as in the game. And that was really my introduction to Super Mario 64, was that DS version. Kind of a crappy version to play, though, because Super Mario 64 was built all around the analog stick, which was the cool new thing on the Nintendo 64. Nintendo invented the analog stick, and they included it obviously on the Nintendo 64, and introduced the console with Super Mario 64. And this is really like just such a mind-blowing title at the time. A real, I guess, not just mind-blowing, but what's the way to describe? Just an amazing feat. I don't know. What we found in that generation, and what would the Nintendo 64 be? That would be the 5th console generation. The Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1 and all the consoles from that generation, they were excited to fit in 3D capabilities. And it was very cutting edge. It required, a lot of expertise to be able to program games that included that functionality, but it felt, really cutting edge, really cool. And that could sell your game, is by saying, hey, this is in 3D instead of 2D, right? But quickly people found it's actually really hard to take a game concept that works in 2D and make it work in 3D. So we had lots of cool video game ideas, or franchises, characters that disappeared in this generation because the developers just weren't able to find a way to make it work in with a whole new dimension added. And yet Nintendo, they almost always stuck the landing with a lot of their games. I'm not going to say it happened all of the time, but most of their attempts were crazy successful and wildly revolutionary as a result. They were, just some of the earliest to do it. That does mean a lot of the games from this generation haven't really aged well. These are the earliest 3D games. And so then, when you play them today, you're like, well, I don't know. We've had several generations of sanding down the corners and making this stuff feel better. But it's crazy to play Super Mario 64 today and still feel like it holds up really well. It came out in June of 96 in Japan, September of 96 in America. And so that makes this its 30th year anniversary, right? It's pretty crazy. So not quite 30 years old yet, but we're pretty much, it's pretty much close enough, right? Now, what about Mario? What's like what's his anniversary? You know, today is the day that we celebrate Mario, but is there like a day and date where he was first unveiled? Lunky436 says June of 96, just like me. You docked yourself. I'm sorry. Now we're all going to call your employer and get you fired. Okay, let's see. A list of video games featuring Mario. 2D games, blah, blah, blah. This doesn't really... Because, like, wasn't he in, you know, was Mario Bros. Before Super Mario Bros., right? So, yeah, he was in Donkey Kong, I guess, as Jumpman. July 9th, 1981. So that's, like, basically, what, 15 years prior to Super Mario 64? But yeah, all right. Enough chit chat. We got to boot up the game. We're just hanging out today. All right. I'm not like showing anything important. I'm showing you Super Mario 64. It is important.
It's me, Mario. Hello.
Oh wait, I gotta. Here we go. We gotta turn the volume down. And my volume is so loud. How does this happen again? Yeah, it's all the way up. Oh my gosh. I'm not allowed to talk to you for so long with the volume being so loud. We gotta turn down my volume too. Okay. Let's see. He said the line. He said the famous line. So long, Gay Bowser. Let's throw this down a little more, I think. Okay. iDrake says, the only console or game I've ever waited in line for at midnight is the Wii. Stayed up playing Wii Sports. Dude, that was a time, huh? That was a fantastic... that was a crazy time when the Wii came out, and it really did feel so mind-blowing, you know? That's the only descriptor I can think of. It was really cool for me because that was my first home console. I had friends who had GameCubes, and I was very envious of them, but the Wii was mine. So so I was really interested in like Virtual Console. I ended up buying Super Mario 64 again just to play it on the Wii. And it wasn't the only game like that. I got to dip into their back catalog of old classic Nintendo games, play GameCube games, and Wii games. But yeah, Wii Sports, the amazing pack-in. There's lots of really bad Wii games with the Wii Remote, but Wii Sports is not one of them. Anyway, you know, in my ideal, I feel like I got to sample a lot of Mario games today, instead of just sitting here and playing Super Mario 64 all night. But maybe I will. They're all really good, so what am I gonna do? Just like stop playing one to pivot to another? But the 3D adventure games, I think is what Nintendo calls them, open world adventures, to separate them from the like 2.5D Mario games, right? There's like Super Mario 3D Land on the 3DS, Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U that got ported to the Switch. Those games are 3D, but they're like a different genre, almost. So just like the other Mario games, I like them. I don't love them. I played Super Mario Wonder, and I liked it a lot, but it's not like my favorite game. But Super Mario 64 is kind of one of the best games ever. Voice is quiet for me. Not sure if anyone else. Is that true? You gotta tell me if that's true. I can turn it up a little bit. I just don't want to... It was way too loud earlier. I don't want to blow anyone's ears out. I think it's working all right. What if I pretend to be really loud? See, that's about pushing it. So I think this is fine. That's my mic. But let me know if the game audio is too quiet. Since, yeah, I'm just jumping into this. So this is a more casual stream today. I don't really feel like playing something new. I just want to relax. So don't tell me in the chat about any, like, current affairs or any goings-on. Don't tell me any, like, celebrity gossip I'm not, like, ready to handle, you know? Let's, quickly pull up the stream on our phone here. Get a temp check. No, I sound great. I sound fantastic. But yeah, we'll bump up the game audio a bit here. Okay. Let's get going. So first we're greeted with Mario's face, and we can control it by moving the stick around. And then we can select in and start messing with his face, right? Yanking on it like this. And this. Rotate his head with the stick and then pull on it. And again, this is amazing how, as a kid, this, the game didn't need to be anything more. This could have been it. Just kidding. This is, but it was still really exciting. And again, for 1996, to have a 3D game that really let you mess with it like that is fun. And interesting how well that translated to the Nintendo DS with the touchscreen. Now, I've played the heck out of this game. I won't pretend to be an expert,
Dear
but
Mario, please come to the castle. I have baked a cake.
I've played quite a bit.
Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
And this is specifically SM64EX, the extended PC port of Super Mario 64, is based on the Super Mario 64 decompilation project. It was recompiled for PC, and then this version adds a few extras. One of the biggest things is frame interpolation, so there's no chance of an unlocked frame rate, at least not without a ton of work, for Super Mario 64. So this has the next best thing, where it just interpolates up to 60 FPS, which is totally fine. The game is very playable. The game logic, you know, it's running under the hood at 30 FPS, but yeah, at least it looks good, but it plays fine. The other nice thing that this version adds, though, is a free camera, which is definitely one of I would say the only part of the game that has not aged well. Is these days we have controllers with 2 sticks, but as innovative as the N64 was, it only gave us 1 stick. So you can kind of use the C buttons to move the camera around, but it's still like locked in. You know, there's certain directions you just can't move it. But here in SM64EX, we do get lots of nice options. So if we go to camera, we've enabled the free camera, analog camera. I'm gonna invert the y-axis. And I already lowered the sensitivity. Let's see if we need to lower it anymore. It feels a little sensitive. But, yeah, we'll see if we can boost it. Look at how, wow, it just moves so fast. What's up, Lakitu? Good afternoon, the Lakitu Bros here, reporting live from just outside the Princess's castle. Mario has just arrived on the scene and will be filming the action live as he enters the castle and pursues the missing Power Stars. As seasoned cameramen, we'll be shooting from the recommended angle, but you can change the camera angle by pressing the C buttons. If we can't adjust the view any further, we'll buzz. To take a look at the surroundings, stop and press C up. Press A to resume play. Switch camera modes with the R button. Signs along the way will review these instructions. For now, reporting live, this has been the Lakitu Bros. Do we see the Lakitu Bros ever again in this game? I think that's the only time he really speaks to us. So yeah, I think I'm wrong. I think I want to not invert both of these, right? And I think I want to reduce this even further. Oops. Okay. But yes, otherwise we get widescreen support with this version of the game, SM64EX. And yeah, like I said, the frame rate is at least interpolated up to 60, so it looks pretty good. And we get high-res rendering and texture filtering. So, welcome. No one's home. Now scram and don't come back. Gwahaha. One of the best parts about this game, the music. The music is so good. And who do we have to thank for the soundtrack? Koji Kondo? Kondo, probably? What do you think? Kondo or Kondo? So we got all these doors, and they have numbers on them indicating how many stars you need to be able to enter. Or they've got, like, locks, because we don't have the key. Or they have, like, a giant star, because we need, like, a lot of stars. This is the first one. We got some signs back here. Whoops. Let's read the sign. You have to master important jumping techniques. First, try the triple jump. Run fast, then jump 3 times. 1, 2, 3. If you time the jumps right, you'll hop, skip, then jump really high. Next, go for distance with the long jump. Run, press Z to crouch, then A to jump really far. Do the wall kick, press A to jump at a wall, then jump again when you hit the wall. Got that? Triple jump, long jump, wall kick. Practice, practice, practice. You don't stand a chance without them. You can return to the castle's main hall at any time from the painting worlds where the enemies live. Just stop, stand still, press start to pause the game, then select exit course. You don't have to collect all power stars in one course before going on to the next. Return later when you're more experienced to pick up difficult ones. Whenever you find a star, a hint for finding the next one will appear on the course's start screen. You can, however, collect any of the remaining stars next. You don't have to recover the one described by the hint. Alright. So yeah, I'm guessing this is familiar to a lot of you, but it's fun to think about, just how much of gaming is built on this foundation. Big Bomb on the summit. Wow, you're smack in the middle of the battlefield. You'll find the power stars that Bowser stole inside the painting worlds. First, talk to the Bomb buddy. Press B to talk. He'll certainly help you out, and so will his comrades in other areas. To read signs, stop, face them, and press B. Press A or B to scroll ahead. You can talk to some other characters by facing them and pressing B. Hello. I'm pressing B. It's not one button. Watch out. If you wander around here, you're liable to be plastered by a water bomb. Those enemy bombs love to fight, and they're always finding ways to attack. This meadow has become a battlefield ever since the Big Bomb got his paws on the Power Star. Can you recover the star for us? Cross the bridge and go left up the path to find the Big Bomb. Please come back to see me after you've retrieved the Power Star. It's the most dialogue I've read in this game in a long time. Hello? Hey you, it's dangerous ahead, so listen up. Take my advice. Cross the 2 bridges ahead, then watch for falling water bombs. The big Bomb at the top of the mountain is very powerful. Don't let him grab you. We're Bomb buddies, and we're on your side. You can talk to us whenever you'd like to. Yeah, this was always confusing to me. I guess the red bombs are good, but the black bombs are bad. Okay. We got Goombas, just like Mario. We got jumping, just like Mario. We got coins, just like Mario. But now we're in 3 whole dimensions. There's like vistas we can see off into the distance. And yeah, it's some would say a collectathon. The world has multiple stars hidden in it. And you want to try and collect them all. So I always really liked this. It rewarded me as a player. Like I said last week, one of my favorite things about playing video games is exploring levels. So, oops. Oh my gosh. So this type of game, I feel like, yeah, it really, I get rewarded for knowing the level better, since they reuse the same levels. And it also means that the levels have, like, depth to them. There's, like, more to explore and see, because they gotta make it so that there's a lot of stuff to do. Places to hide more stars, right? What's this say? Beware of Chain Chomp. Extreme danger. Get close and press C for a better look. Scary, huh? See the red coin on top of the stake? When you collect 8 of them, a power star will appear in the meadow across the bridge. Bulldozer89 says, Happy Mario Day! Happy Mario Day! I think that's how I'm supposed to say that every time. That's why we're here, dude. We're playing Mario on freaking Mario Day. It's a blessing. Oops. Get out of the way. It's kind of horrible. Uh-oh. Yeah, I was gonna doing a great job with mine. I need some coins. Stat. Ooh, close one. Close one. Alright. Get some coins. Gotta get some coins. We have red coins. They're worth like 2 coins. And red coins are one of the ways that you get stars in the game. The shadowy star in front of you is a star marker. When you collect all 8 red coins, the star will appear here. So yeah, each level has a red coin challenge where you gotta find all 8 stars. But there's also a 100 coin challenge in each level where you get a star for collecting 100 coins. And those are not stated. They're kind of, it's like a hidden challenge, basically. Whereas, when we pause the game here, I guess we can't really see yet, but soon we'll be able to see. But yeah, each level has, you know, 7 or 8 different stars hidden in them. But then, yeah, one of them is, you gotta collect 100 coins. So, before I go to bed tonight, I'm gonna collect all 151 stars in the game. just kidding. I'll not be doing that. Like I said, I'm gonna play this until I get bored, and then I'm gonna pick a different Mario game to play. Hello. Bulldozer 89 says 120. I knew I was. I could count on my. Oh my gosh, what is happening? My camera. I could count on the Mario expert. I'm actually kind of scared playing this game because I know the Mario expert's here. But also, when I was a kid, and I had Super Mario 64 on the DS. Yeah, okay, so I do have, I gotta flip the Y-axis. I was right to flip the Y-axis. Still quite sensitive. When I had Super Mario 64 DS as a kid, I had a friend who had a action replay on their DS. And it's one of the earliest memories, I have of, like, knowing that cheating doesn't get you far in life. Because, yeah, they had a cheat that was like, oh, it'll unlock all the stars. And actually, if I remember correctly, it was, like, more than the number of stars that are possible to get in the game. So you'd get, like, yeah, 120 is the max. It was like 121 or 2 or something like that. So it was like obvious that you cheated if anybody else like saw your copy of the game. And then, of course I like do it, and afterwards, why did I do that? What was the point of that? I got like nothing out of that. Alright, get the heck out of here. It's hurting me too much. I don't know why I did that, but thanks, man.
Here we go!
There's 1 star for us. So yeah, I had a few games like that I remember hacking the cart with an action replay and then wondering, why did I do that? You've recovered one of the stolen power stars. Now you can open some of the sealed doors in the castle. Go to the princess's room on the 2nd floor, and the room with the painting of Womp's fortress on floor 1. Bowser's troops are still gaining power, so you can't give up. Save us, Mario. Keep searching for the stars. So that was 1 star. Let's go take a look. So that was star number 6. And we get little hints on what the star might be based on the name. But we can't just select all of them. We gotta start at the beginning. So anyway, that's my excuse for why I don't know the maximum number of stars in the game, is because I hacked my original version of the game. That must have set me on the wrong path. I hope you're using an officially sanctioned Nintendo 64 controller. I am not. I kind of wish I had one to play games like this with. But I don't know, man. I feel like that's one... So, for the record, I'm playing on my 8-Bit Do Pro 2. And actually, it's my wife's 8-Bit Do Pro 2. I love video games, and I love spending money on video games. That's not really true. I don't really like spending money on video games, but... it's easier for me to spend money on games versus rent or groceries. No, that's not true either. But you know what I mean. It's my number 1 hobby. So I love to buy games and consoles and accessories, and controllers is one of those things where it's like, man. I like have too many, and yet I just am always finding reasons to buy another one. So yeah, an N64 controller, it would be cool to have, but like I really, really, really don't need another game controller. But no, I'll find an excuse to buy more eventually. I'm the Big Bomb-Omb, Lord of all blasting matter, King of kabooms the world over. How dare you scale my mountain? By what right do you set foot on my imperial mountaintop? You may have eluded my guards, but you'll never escape my grasp, and you'll never take away my power star. I hereby challenge you, Mario. If you want the star I hold, you must prove yourself in battle. Can you pick me up from the back and hurl me to this royal turf? I think that you cannot. We'll see. Oh, keep pressing the right button. Because I don't have the official controller, I don't know what button to press. So we get our first boss battle. And he's a giant round guy. They just want to show off how three-dimensional the game is. He's only round. I think it's just one giant sprite, but... But also, it's got us using the analog stick. We gotta learn how to run in circles here. What? Can it be that a pipsqueak like you has defused the Bomb-Omb King? You might be fast enough to ground me, but you'll have to pick up the pace if you want to take King Bowser by the tail. Methinks my troops could learn a lesson from you. Here is your star, as I promised, Mario. If you want to see me again, select this star from the menu. For now, farewell. He exploded. He literally died. We will never see him again.
Here we go!
Even if you replay the level, he doesn't reappear. I think he actually died. No, that's not true. Save and continue. Alright, so there's one level. Oh, excuse me. So now we have 2 stars. What does that get us? 3 stars, 1 star. Let's go in here. Reacting to the star power, the door slowly opens. Another great level. Womp's Fortress. Chip off Womp's block. Hello, the Lakitu Bros! Oh, they do come back. Cutting in with a live update on Mario's progress. He's about to learn a technique for sneaking up on enemies. The trick is this. He has to walk very slowly in order to walk quietly. And wrapping up filming techniques reported on earlier, you can take a look around using C right and C left. Press C down to view the action from a distance. When you can't move the camera any further, the buzzer will sound. This is the Lakitu Bros signing off. Okay, so yeah, again with the analog stick, it's not digital. There's not just going and stopping, but there's walking slowly. So here they've made a whole mechanic about creeping around, which is adorable. Sorry, bro. Blue coins, those are worth 5. Yeah, what else is there to say? The music is, addictive. It's pretty good for music that's gotta, like, play on loop over and over, you know? Oh! Oh no. Shoot. Awkward. Can't believe I just did that live on camera. Let's get back in there. Don't talk to me, Lakitu Bros. Yeah, great music. This game has some of my favorite Mario songs, it feels like. Look at these, dude. The thwomp. Never seen a thwomp look like this before. Have you ever beaten the game fully? Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have not 100%ed the game, but I've made it all the way to the end, for sure. A few times. Oh, shoot. Oh my gosh. I died? Sorry, I was supposed to be ground pounding. I thought I was supposed to be able to jump. Yeah. I played the heck out of this on my DS. Don't talk to me. I played a little bit on the Wii, emulating the N64 version. I beat the game when it came out again for the Super Mario 3D All-Stars re-release on the Switch. And I don't think I've beaten it on the Steam Deck yet, but I have, yeah, Super Mario 64 EX loaded up on there, and that's been, you know, when I'm looking to kill time, one of my go-to games on the Steam Deck. But even then, I've gotten a lot of, like, the easier stars on there, so it's been a lot of, like, well, do I want to, like, grind for, like, 100 coin challenge, things like that. Whoa. Whoops. But I don't think I've ever 100%ed the game before. I'm, like, a little interested, but, you know, it's just one of those, just trying to squeeze the juice out of a game that you already know really well, right? So yeah, you can just like pour over every corner of a map and try to earn coins. Here we're already up to 60 coins, so you know it's like, oh well, this isn't so bad in this level, but some other levels it's such a pain in the butt. Oop. Just, oop, so far away. Oh, am I really not ground pounding? Did you have to be asleep? I didn't think that was true. Like I said, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert, but I feel like I've played a poop ton of this game, so when things happen I don't expect, they do surprise me. No matter. I'm not really worried about it. What? So here's the real test. Here's what we need to find out by the end of the night. What is my favorite Mario game? I don't really know. To me, it's a tie between Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy 1/2, and Super Mario Odyssey. I kind of feel like Super Mario Odyssey is my favorite, and maybe that's blasphemous. I don't know. I read a lot of complaining about it online, but I think it's just because it's the latest one, and so its differences mean, you know, now is the point where, well, I guess in other words, what's the best way to say this? Because I think we see the same thing with Zelda as well. Read this guy's dialogue. We have to read it. It makes me so mad. We build your houses, your castles, we pave your roads, and still you walk all over us. Do you ever say thank you? No. Well, you're not going to wipe your feet on me. I think I'll crush you just for fun. Do you have a problem with that? Just try to pound me, wimp. Ah. I think it's the same with Zelda, where, you know, a new Mario game comes out, and because it's Mario, everyone, you know, critics, fans, people all go pick up the game. And they play it, and they really like it, because it's Mario. It's good, you know? Oh. A little slow on the draw there. And after a few years, the only opinions you're starting to hear about online are the naysayers who were not interested from the beginning, whether they don't like Mario or they don't like this iteration of Mario. No, crushed again. I'm just a stepping stone after all. I won't grovel. Here, you win. Take this with you. And yeah, then also people who heard all the hype, they played it, and they're like, I don't get it, you know? It didn't live up to the hype, right? And I feel like that's kind of the stage we're in with, like, Zelda and Mario. It's been a while since we got a new 3D Mario, a new 3D Zelda, and so we're kind of in that pit of the cycle where the only people really talking about the latest Mario and Zelda games are people who didn't really enjoy them very much. And we're starting to see that happen too with Super Mario Wonder, I think. Because everyone was like, wow, this is a revelation. This is the greatest Mario game ever. They really found a way to, like, zhuzh up the formula. And then, a few years have passed, and now the people who are, like, finally getting around to checking it out from their local library are like, it's alright. Bulldozer89 says, don't you mean Zelda? I think that's how I was supposed to read that. Yes. I mean, that to me is like the shining example of, like, don't ever listen to people on the internet at all. Today, I was reading an article. It was a good read. Sorry, I have to read all the dialogue. Snow Mountain Summit. Watch for slippery conditions. Please enter the cottage first. I love these. Like, every level, right before it starts, it's like, hang on. Did you know you can walk slowly? Yeah, I did. Okay, just checking. Go inside the cottage, please. Why don't you make me go inside the cottage? But that's the fun part, is the game, like, doesn't make you go inside. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. But sure, let's go inside. I was reading an article today about Dragon Age 2. Which, in my mind, was kind of infamous. Dragon Age Origins. Now, let me preface this by saying I haven't played any of these games. I would like to, maybe someday. They don't seem like exactly my cup of tea, but people still like at least the first few. Just kidding. So I do want to check them out sometime. But they're also kind of long, and I gotta make sure I commit to them instead of just trying and failing. But Dragon Age Origins, people really liked, and so EA said, okay, turn right around and make a sequel in like a year. Which used to be like sort of commonplace. You got games like Majora's Mask, Fallout New Vegas, where they give developers like a year, 18 months or whatever to make a full-fledged sequel. But Dragon Age 2, I remember when that came out, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, they totally screwed it up. They absolutely messed it up. The story and characters, sure, they're fine, but the game, like, just so much about it, people couldn't stand. See, this is my least favorite part of the game, is that is possible. It is possible to completely flub getting a star like that. That's alright. We're having fun. So, since then, we've gotten 2 more Dragon Age games. We got Dragon Age Inquisition, which, again, gameplay-wise is, like, totally different, It's almost like an MMO. And there are, like, whole sections that are really just, like, padding. Not to mention, the story is, like, also, it's not exactly the direction fans expected the story to take. All sorts of reasons why. Once again, people don't really like that game, like, that much. It reviewed pretty well. But it's one of those, like in internet conversations that don't matter. People bring up, well, of all of the Game Awards' Game of the Year winners. It has the lowest meta score, which if you ever hear somebody say that out loud, I think you need to immediately exit the conversation. You gotta turn off my stream right now after you hear somebody say that. But it is true. It's an interesting game because it feels like pretty quickly people fell off of it. They didn't really care for it that much. I remember when it came out, and I had friends who were obsessed with it, playing it for tons and tons of hours. But it still didn't hold a candle to the previous entries. And then we just got Dragon Age the Veilguard, which it's all over again. That's not to say that the criticisms aren't warranted about any of those games, but it's kind of hard to like take any of them seriously when you feel like you see this cycle of discourse coming a mile away. So today I'm reading an article about Dragon Age 2, and it's kind of like a retrospective interview with some of the people working on it. But it's very positive. It's very much like, it's kind of the fan favorite when it comes to like the story and the characters. And it's just crazy to hear that when I remember what it was like. I was there, you know, when that game came out. And yeah, people hated it. And I think people, like, still today, who didn't like it then, it's not like they necessarily came around to it. Maybe they did, based on, like, you know, what came after. Just taking it for granted. They like what it does right or whatever. But I think a lot of the people who didn't like it back then still probably don't like it today. Oh, my lord. I'm not doing a great job here. But,
Mamma mia!
you just have to laugh when you see people talking about, oh man, you know, it was so good. I loved it. It's a fan favorite. Was it really? Okay. Interesting. I don't know. I don't remember that being the case at all, but everyone's an individual, and we all have our own individual tastes. So me saying, well, I don't remember hearing your individual voice on the internet when everybody was discussing this game, it's not a really interesting or valid thing to say to somebody. Am I gonna try and get a star from this one? Oh, nice. What a hit. What a hit. So when it comes to Zelda, yeah, infamously, Zelda Wind Waker was unveiled after the GameCube's reveal that, you know, featured Ocarina of Time-esque graphics, art style. Well, they had a little teaser of what the GameCube could do, and it showed Link and Ganon fighting each other, and it was very Ocarina of Time style graphics. And then Wind Waker comes out, and actually, we're going to do cell shading, because the GameCube is really good at cell shaded art. And people were livid. They just wanted more Ocarina of Time, more Majora's Mask, but with better graphics. And they didn't get it. Not with Wind Waker, anyway. But to Nintendo's credit, I would say Twilight Princess was basically what the fans were asking for there. But yeah, when I was younger, I thought that Wind Waker looked amazing. And I was so envious of my friends who had the game. Particularly, yeah, my closest friend who was playing the game regularly and was giving me updates on their progress. And I was like, I want to play. And I remember going to the bus stop once. I guess was it before? I guess it was before school. But I remember her telling me, she was like, yeah, I beat Wind Waker the other night. I stabbed Ganon through the head with my sword. And I was like, what? No way. There's no way that they did that. It's true. That is how that game ends. It's pretty great. Huge Mass Effect fan. Never played Dragon Age, says Bulldozer89. Yeah, me neither. iDrake says, Dragon Age 2 seems more accessible and less of a sweaty CRPG. Yeah, I can see that. I have to start with Dragon Age Origins if I'm ever going to play any of them. But I don't know if I didn't stick with it, maybe I would jump into maybe I would jump into 2. Just to sample it once. But kind of like Mass Effect, am I going to enjoy it today as is, or is it kind of a, oh, you had to have been there? I wouldn't say that Mass Effect, like, hasn't held up well, but part of it was, you know, just the sheer, like, wow, your choices are carrying over to the other games? Oh my god, it's a trilogy? A lot of that stuff. I feel like, you know, maybe just, not that it hasn't aged well, but just that it isn't as surprising, shocking today. Then again, though, I felt that having played Mass Effect 3 after a lot of the controversy, that really alleviated a lot of its problems. I don't know. Mass Effect 3, it's just kind of one of those, when it came out, everybody was like screaming and crying about it, and I thought, maybe I'm not interested in playing the rest of this. Oh, that actually fell on me. But a few years ago, I finally did play it for the first time, and I was like, this isn't so bad. I just watched Spider-Man 3 last night, or not last night, but just a couple days ago, and I felt really similarly. Not that I had seen it before, but it's been years since I'd seen it, and I always remember it being the lesser of the games. Man. Nope. The lesser of the movies. Spider-Man 1, really good. Spider-Man 2, one of the best ever. Spider-Man 3 it was alright. But I remember it faring so much worse than I feel it holds up today, which is just so interesting to see. Kind of like the prequel Star Wars movies, but I don't know. It's really hard for me to give those movies grace. There is just like so much actually wrong with a bunch of those. But I do feel like a generation grew up with those Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, and and so they accept its flaws and faults more. And so now stuff like, you know, Tobey Maguire dancing with the symbiote suit is like, oh yeah, it's kind of funny and goofy, and it's like an accepted part of life. But, I mean, when that movie came out, people legitimately, I think, felt betrayed. They were like, you know, I can't believe that this happened, and that we're all just supposed to be okay with it. But again, you know, time heals all wounds, and now we can kind of accept it for what it is. That's just Sam Raimi's style, and it's just kind of silly and funny, and I don't really care so much anymore. Whereas at the time, people were like, I want, like, nothing to do with this. So Spider-Man 3, actually, like, in spite of its faults, pretty good. It's overstuffed, it's not nearly as good as the other two, and so in a lot of ways, it could be viewed as a disappointment. But, it really wasn't as bad as I remembered it being, which really shocks me. Mass Effect 3 kind of felt the same way. I don't know, though. I do think there are legit problems with, like, the plot and the direction of that story. And yet, it definitely just helps to live in a world where those already exist and it's behind me. And now what am I going to do? You know? Is there another Mass Effect type of franchise out there? Story being told? Games like that to be able to play? Not really. So, gotta take it for granted and just accept it for what it is. So yeah, I was really glad that I played it. It's another game I would love to play on here. It's just so long, all three of those games. So it's a fun story that I think would be enjoyable to, like, watch from a distance. Let's see, should I try and get 2 more stars, or is this enough Super Mario 64? Sound off in the comments. See, I don't really care for this one either. I don't really like the water levels, but these are great. Yeah, what was I going to say about... Mass Effect, it's it's a space opera. It's a good soap opera to just hang out and like I said, to be able to watch somebody else play. But I have so many games that I want to play on here that I feel like I gotta get through some of the more low-hanging fruit, games that are like not that long. Because otherwise, next thing I know, I'm going to spend like an entire year playing all of Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. And I did play them like somewhat recently. I played them post-COVID. So within the last like 5 years. I'm trying to remember though, actually, I think I might have skipped one. I think a lot of the time I sit down to play the trilogy, and I start with one, and then I get kind of burnt out, and it very quickly became the game that I played the most. But it's not necessarily my favorite. 2 has always been my favorite, and I didn't feel like I knew it as well, so... this most recent time around, I think I just skipped straight to 2. That was the right choice. But, it's the kind of game I do want to be able to share with others. It's so long, and it's definitely very gamey, so... if you're not a gamer, then you're probably not going to play it. Wouldn't you just want to watch somebody play it? But same is probably true for Dragon Age. Maybe I should just play that instead of replaying a game I've already played a few times. I never played Andromeda either, but, you know, I heard that in that game the characters were not as interesting as, that the gameplay was like the most salvageable part. And the same, unfortunately, seems to be true for Dragon Age the Veilguard, right? That, like, yeah, the story isn't what anybody was really hoping for, and so instead, it's, the gameplay is good, but that's not really what I'm here for. I also have not played any Baldur's Gates. And so part of me also just wonders, should I just play Baldur's Gate 3 instead? Remember when I said I gotta read all the dialogue? No, I'm skipping through all of it. I can't remember. Does he get mad at me for cheating if I warp up the... Now I'm screwed. But yeah, I don't know. Mass Effect for me, it is such a classic. There's just so much good. Lots of great voice actors, lots of fun performances, and really interesting characters. A space setting that just feels pretty well realized. there's just so much to dig into, which is not typically true of video games. And again, for like an RPG, I'm really struggling to think of space RPGs off the top of my head. They're pretty much all post-apocalyptic or fantasy. So like I said, Mass Effect, warts and all, has really held up for me because there's not much else like it. Puff, puff, puff. Whoa, you really are fast. A human blur. Here you go. You've won it fair and square. Oh, get off. Get off. Grungan says, oh, you're playing this on MAR10. Movie Bob Veterans of Nintendo Wars Day. Yes. For those who had their personal Vietnam, this is the day we remember that. Yeah, I woke up this morning and I was like, I really do not feel like playing God of War 2 today. And then I got off work and I definitely didn't feel like it. I needed to relax. But instead of like playing Parkitect for several hours, I thought I should be playing Mario instead. But I'm gonna sample a bunch of the 3D Marios, so we'll go do this level. And then, whoa, nice! What an effect! Let's see if we can defeat Bowser, and then we'll move on to another Mario. Yeah. I guess I was talking about this just to say, yeah, I think right now, Odyssey, Super Mario Odyssey, is the one that players are like, I don't like it as much. Well, like, I don't know. I frequently see people say that they hand out the moons like candy. It's too easy to get moons in Mario Odyssey. And that is a criticism I do not care about. I do not care how easy or difficult it is to get moons. It does not matter to me. So that does not really resonate. I kind of understand it, but I haven't been able to have someone articulate to me why I should care about how easy or difficult it is to pick up moons. But it is true, in that game, they have way more of them in a level versus its predecessors. But for me, I don't know, I think the environments are my favorite part of Mario Odyssey. There are so many of them, they're so interesting. Once again, it's got fantastic music, which is really important to me. This intro, this music. Tough luck, Mario. Princess Toadstool isn't here. Wahaha. Go ahead, just try to grab me by the tail. You'll never be able to swing me around. A wimp like you won't throw me out of here. Never. Ha! We'll try. I never was very good at, like, aiming my throws here. He said the line, you guys. So once again, they're having us swing the stick around because they're really excited, like 360 degrees of motion. Let's see. Oh, wrong button. Really wrong. Oh, there we go. once. Or is it just the one time? Grr, I was a bit careless. This is not as I had planned. But I still hold the power of the stars, and I still have Peach. Wahaha, you'll get no more stars from me. I'm not finished with you yet, but I'll let you go for now. You'll pay for this later. There we go. Let me get the key. Look at all those camera angles. Congratulations, Bowser in the Dark World clear. Man, there's just, before we put this game down, there's just so much that this game does right. The color palette is fantastic. This is the 90s to me. And I love, yeah, not just the rainbow lettering, but the color choice of all the little rainbow letters for congratulations. And that color choice you see all throughout the game. The very synth-heavy music is great. But yeah, the like bright red carpets and the painting of Peach and Bowser in there is also great. Let's see, we don't have King Boo yet. I forget when we unlock him. But yeah, certainly very, very comfy. Alright, so what other levels have we unlocked here now that we've turned the camera around? Got a couple interesting ones. Toad from the Shadows. Wow, you've already recovered that many stars? Way to go, Mario. I'll bet you'll have us out of here in no time. Be careful, though. Bowser and his band wrote the book on bad. Take my advice. When you need to recover from injuries, collect coins. Yellow coins refill 1 piece of power meter, red coins refill 2, and blue coins refill 5. To make blue coins appear, pound on blue coin blocks. Also, if you fall from high places, you'll minimize damage if you pound the ground as you land. So this actually, let's see if he's hanging around here. This was, no, he's not here. I guess we haven't unlocked it. There's usually a bunny rabbit jumping around here. And famously, that's where the game was really designed. It was, around chasing this rabbit. I don't know if it was on this specific level, or if they had, like, you know, a debug level that they did it in. But, shifting sandland in the talons of the big bird. Right? Hello. Why am I not? Where, yeah, the game was, you know, pretty much just designed around good movement. And that's one of the other reasons why it's so good. As it does feel like the most important aspect when they were making the game was just that it felt good to play. It felt good to, like, move around in, you know? So yeah, they have a section in that basement, usually, a little rabbit be running around, and you gotta catch him, and if you catch him, then you get a star, and they fine-tune the controls to make it fun to chase him around, and then they built all these levels, or something like that. So the story goes, right? But yeah, there are so many moves that Mario has in his repertoire that are all, you know, basically added for this game, not necessarily converted from the 2D games. And that's very impressive to me, that it just, you know, looks, feels, it plays so good. Grungan says, I also wondered if the rabbit was kept in that dungeon location for development too, or a nicer level. I imagine, like, when I read the story, I'm imagining the level. I'm like, oh yeah, I know the level that they're talking about. But then when I actually think more about it, I'm like, yeah, I assume that it's probably in like some debug level where there's like no wall textures and it's like a figure 8 or something. Just something simple. What do I know? Honestly, it could be just lying to us for all I know. Actually, no, I don't even care. I don't even care. Go away. So yeah, we are playing the recompilation on PC. SM64EX. So there's improved camera control. It runs, you know, at a higher resolution, and it does come with rumble support. That was exclusive to the, I think, a Japanese re-release. The rumble pack is not available on the N64 at launch, but it came later, and in Japan they released the game later again with rumble pack support. We never got that in America, but Nintendo did do the same for their re-release of the game on the Switch. Super Mario 3D All-Stars Collection. That version of Super Mario 64 also includes that was rude. Alright, how are we doing? We got this next. Doing pretty good considering I've just been blitzing my way around. Let's go, let's go! We did it. I don't really know if I've ever done that, like, on my first go. Pretty much every time I feel like I've played that level, I end up falling at some point, but that was quite nice. Okay, I just wanted to, I'm not going to grind for more stars, but I wanted to at least just sample these other levels here before we leave. Should I bust out Super Mario Sunshine next, or should I just go straight to Super Mario Galaxy? What do you think? Let me know. Don't be a pushover. If anyone tries to shove you around, push back. It's one-on-one with a fiery finish for the loser. I like the aesthetic of Super Mario Sunshine quite a bit. And as somebody who loves Chibi Robo and likes to, like, clean the house, I do like the mechanic of, like, spraying water around to clean the place. They finish the puzzle, so we get a little coin burst. Drake says, I see they decided to go nuts with the audio. Yeah, are you wearing headphones? You can tell too. Stereo, man. What's in here? This one is, oh yeah, this one. Hazy Maze Cave, Swimming Beast in the Cavern. This one is huge. It's just very varied. There's lots of little nooks and crannies. They give you a map, an extremely low-res map, but it still counts. Doom, 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 doom. Okay, so how do we get to the cave? I'm sure the map would have told me, but I was not going to read it. Hated those spiders as a kid since I tried. Yeah, yeah. They look like a marble. I don't mind them so much, personally. But I'm not really fond of anything that chases after you. No matter what it looks like. I don't know, I'm trying to think if there's anything I would say I find particularly scary in this game. The Black Abyss. I was an existential child. This is, yeah, just another maze. It's the gas maze. That's for the gas Mario. Get me out of here. Catching up. You're so right about the font on congratulations. It feels very 90s B-Day party at Toys R Us. Totally. Very much so. Very Toys R Us coded. And yeah, it's just kind of stuff like that you can imagine in like a... You know, like a Tumblr blog about 90s aesthetic, or like a Pinterest board. I'm only naming more outdated social media networks, but you get the idea. Almost just like whoa, geometry handle is a lot. Oh, ow. Let's try this again. Let's go this way. Oh, shoot! Oh, I pressed the wrong button to jump. My bad. Okay, well, what the flip am I doing here? I should just move on. I'm gonna move on to the next game. I'm getting out of here. But yeah, color palette for sure, very 90s. You can just imagine this on the TV in the corner of a room and some, you know, like how we think of like, oh, the 80s was like, had all this like pop color and you know, people were playing 80s musical 80s music, like new wave all the time, and I'm trying to think of specific terms to describe what I'm imagining in my head, but you know, people who actually grew up in the 80s were like, no, it's just like wood paneling everywhere, that sort of thing. I don't know, living in the 90s, but it feels like it plays up to that aesthetic almost, and you can see why it's aged so nicely. But one of the other great things about this game, honestly, is like it controls really well. It's a game built around controlling really well. I'm really surprised to hear anybody today talk about the game, its controls negatively. The camera is one thing. I will definitely agree that the camera can use some work, and that's why I love this PC port, because it does just fix that one glaring issue. But otherwise, the controls are identical to what they were before, and they feel great. And there's a reason that they've just permeated through all of the subsequent Mario games. They just nailed it in one. And the game, when you start it up, it just plops you out here in this extremely serene locale. You know, bright blue sky, rolling green hills, and you are supposed to go in the castle, but nobody is like pushing you to do anything, so all you have to do is just kind of like jump around in the overworld. Just to start getting a feel for what the controls are like, which is just awesome. So awesome. Great platformers made, even today, don't necessarily learn from these rules. But that is Super Mario 64. Bonafide classic, one of the best games ever made. And so, of course, we got to celebrate Mario Day with some Super Mario 64. All right, enough of that. That was fun. Grungen says, I got 3 platinums on Enhanced Crash trilogy and currently working on Crash 4. I'm feeling pretty 90s. Yeah, I bet. That's awesome. 3 platinums. That's pretty amazing. That's tough work. So congratulations. You get a gold star. You get a platinum star, actually. Um, no, that's great. Very tough. The bits I was watching you blow through was seemed arduous as hell. So okay. Let me get my little guys on the side here too. But yeah, those games are rather brutal. Some of the difficulty. And definitely curious. I'm excited to see your thoughts on Crash 4. Hopefully you don't despise it as much as Sly 4. Okay, let's see here. So these other games I'm not going to emulate or anything. Just because this was more of a spur of the moment thing. Let's get sound going here. Hopefully this is all working like we expect. So, Super Mario 64, great game. Its direct sequel is Super Mario Sunshine, which came out, what is this, 6 years later? Yeah, it's for the GameCube. And so it's built around the GameCube's new features. The GameCube, it did have a second analog stick, not really like we know of today, right? Now here's one benefit of sorts with the with Super Mario's 3D All-Stars on the Switch, is it does have AI upscaled cinematics here. If you just emulate the game, you won't necessarily get those. I imagine there's got to be somebody who's done the same on PC.
To the sun-drenched tropical paradise of Isle Delfino. We're so pleased to welcome you to our beautiful home.
But yeah, not a completely lazy port in that sense. There are some things that they did try on. There are some other things though they didn't try with. That's kind of disappointing. Super Mario 64 in this version of the game is not in widescreen, for example. Not 60 FPS either, but neither is the PC port, so I love that nobody saw that. But all I can think about is all the delicious food he's gonna eat on vacation. Toadsworth is thinking about all the places he's gonna take a nap, like inside a turtle. So yeah, this game is built around the GameCube, and so it's built around the analog triggers that were innovated with the GameCube controller.
Super Mario Sunshine! Woohoo!
I think. Yeah, I guess so, right? The GameCube came out before, like the Xbox. I'll just boot up my existing version of the game. When I bought this collection, I vowed to make as much progress as possible. And this one, I just couldn't shake it. I could not hack it, man. So yeah, widescreen, but still 30 FPS, which was a shame. And the whole bit is you use the analog triggers with FLUDD, F-L-U-D-D, made by, what's his name, from Luigi's Mansion. Now, frustratingly, the Switch does not have analog triggers, but instead it has digital triggers. So this game, I don't know, I feel like this version, it just doesn't really play very well. Later, they did actually patch support for the GameCube controller adapter. So if you have one of those USB adapters that let you plug in the GameCube controller, then you can hook up a GameCube controller and play it. But that's like way too many steps. I don't have a GameCube. Well, I have a Wavebird, so it doesn't have rumble, which is a little disappointing. I don't think I have just a regular wired GameCube controller though, and I don't have the USB adapter. And I don't know, it seems my assumption is they're kind of expensive. Maybe that's not true, but I don't really need it. just for this kind of game. I have plenty of controllers with analog triggers, but the Switch otherwise isn't going to support them in this game. And this is at 30 FPS anyway, so... But look, the setup is largely similar, you know? You jump into like a painting, and there's like a specific star you gotta go get. What are they called? Are they shine sprites in this one, I think? Man, love the aesthetic in this game, though. And still has lots of earworms. Here we go. And I think you probably could get really good with the jetpack. In fact, it is, I mean, you know, it is kind of fun to have a game that you can, like, double jump and, you know, hover around in. Those are always fun, right? Oh, careful. Grungan is playing Crash 4 this instant, grinding gems. I streamed about 10 hours of it. I actually played it first in 2020. Much more competent game than Sly 4. Easily my favorite gameplay. Oh, that's awesome. It's also interesting seeing Crash lean into the PS1 strengths versus Mario 64. The pre-Crash droning engine still scares me, like Bioshock 1. Yeah, it's one of the things Nintendo has always been great at is marrying their software with their hardware, which is a gift and a curse. Like I said, it's kind of a curse in this sense where, you know, we're playing a Nintendo game on official Nintendo hardware, and yet it still feels like an inferior experience because we're missing some of the elements that, you know, made the game great. Whoa. I pressed the Z button by mistake. Okay, got it. But gosh, this 30 frames per second is jarring after coming from SM64EX. And like I said, even that's just interpolated. It's not even real. Those aren't real frames. Oops. But, yeah, lots of great Nintendo games on great consoles like the Nintendo DS and the Wii that are kind of difficult to replicate on later consoles of theirs. But at the same time, I mean, it definitely gives you that, like, you know, must-have feeling. Like, hey, you gotta get this console because it does things that other consoles can't do. So yeah, playing Super Mario 64, it's cool to see, like, oops. How much, you know, they focus on, like, the analog stick. Not just the fact that, you know, the game is in 3D, but... Hey, look, Bulldozer89 is playing Splatoon 3 right now. Oops. Oh my gosh. Oh. They can keep it. That's fine. Whatever it takes to win. And yeah, this game is built around using the analog triggers. It's just like the one major difference in the controller. It's not really like that different, but... but also, I mean, definitely focus on the different capabilities of the game. The fact that, like, all of the, like, paint and water stuff, just things that the GameCube was good at. If we remember Mario 128, just like a little tech demo that they showed of what the GameCube was capable of. As a kid, I remember reading about that and thinking, like, that's a real Mario game. The sequel to Super Mario 64 is Mario 128. But it's like, that was me, like, reading about it on a wiki, and then you go watch a video of it, and you're like, oh, this isn't a game. This is just someone screwing around. But yeah, lots of, like, simulation heavy. Hey, we can have so many different guys on screen at once, and they can all be, you know, affected by physics at the same time, that sort of thing. So, alright. This is enough Super Mario Sunshine, if I'm being honest with you. I don't want any more of this. How do I get out of this? Here we go. Don't worry, if you purchase an officially sanctioned GameCube controller, you get the analog triggers back. I know, Bulldozer, I was telling everyone. I said exactly that, but I don't own one. And I think they're kind of expensive. Don't you have to, to get the legit ones? I don't know. I think I thought that was one of those things they sold for like a short period of time for like the crazy people who will only play the new Smash if they can use a GameCube controller. So here it was like, well, it's nice that they rolled out support for it, but I don't know if it's like did they have to? Because I don't know how many people have one, but it was kind of dumb that they didn't, so I'm glad they eventually updated it to let you do that. But if you own the cart and you put the cart in the game without internet access, you still can't use your GameCube controller, so don't forget that. Grungan says, I love your streams, by the way. Thank you. See, that's why I couldn't quit today. I was tired and didn't feel like doing anything, but I had to hang out at the very least for your sake. I don't want to be responsible for what happens if I'm not here for you. Sunshine felt like such a vacation game to me. My best friend, Indian and overweight, had it in 3rd grade. I remember the Zelda demo setting up expectations for a dark, gritty game. Yeah, I was talking about that before, too. The same kind of deal. They just show a little tech demo and gives people the right expectation. But yeah, Sunshine does a great job of exuding those vacation vibes, co-opting tropical Caribbean culture themes. No, it's awesome. But this is the next best thing. Bulldozer says you can buy one from Nintendo Store online. It's wireless? What? Alright, hang on a second. We're stopping everything so I can read more about this. It's wireless? I thought it was USB. Maybe I'm thinking of the Wii U one. GameCube Switch adapter. Or you're talking about the official... Oh, you're talking about the Nintendo Switch online GameCube controller, aren't you? Yeah. No, those are probably still around. I mean, I don't know. Again, I remember reading that they like sold out immediately right after they put them up on sale. But today, it's probably not that hard to go buy one because they rolled it out for the Switch 2, right? Which is the other thing. You probably have to have a Switch 2 to be able to use it, would be my guess. I don't really know that much about them. I just remember when Super Mario 3D All-Stars came out, it did not support GameCube controllers of any sort, and they patched it to really really similar to the Wii U one that lets you use your GameCube controllers with the Switch, which I think they rolled out really just for Smash, right? But maybe they updated it again to let you also use the wireless GameCube controller that they rolled out for Nintendo Switch Online for Switch 2 owners to play GameCube games with. Oh, how confusing, huh? Are those controllers any good? You know, I like the GameCube controller, but every successor controller has kind of paled in comparison, right? So... Alright, hang on a second. I gotta take a break. I'm switching just from one game to the next. Alright, good thing my camera was off the whole time. You didn't have to see me do any of that. No, I'm just kidding. Super Mario Galaxy. Yes, this game, yeah. What is there to say? This was on the Wii, which, like I said before, was the first Nintendo home console that I owned. So I did go back and play, you know, Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine. But this game came out, you know, and I bought it. And I actually remember, I think I bought it used just after it came out. And I remember I was shocked at how cheap I was able to get it. It was probably like $40 or something. I don't know. But I think I specifically remember going to trade in like a ton of games and getting this one game back. Super Mario Galaxy. But it was exciting because, yeah, it came out, you know, when I had a Wii, so I got to be a part of the zeitgeist. But the other thing that I really like about this game is the grand soundtrack. It fits, like, the Galaxy theme, but it also just feels like a general celebration of Mario. And so, yeah, once again, this got ported with the Super Mario 3D All-Stars Collection. This one is a pretty decent port. It's, I don't remember if it's 720p or 1080p. It looks pretty sharp. But it is 60 FPS. I'm pretty sure it was originally 60 FPS on the Wii as well. I could be wrong. And it got a direct sequel, which was famously not included in this re-release, which is so silly. Now you finally can buy them both with support for the Nintendo Switch 2, so you get resolutions all the way up to 4K. And yeah, support for, you know, 1080p VRR or whatever on handheld mode on the Switch 2. But I believe those versions also work just fine on the Switch as well. But they are sold separately, and they're kind of pricey. It's like, I think at least $40 for Super Mario Galaxy 2 alone. I did not wait for that, though. After I played 3D All-Stars when it came out, all three of these games, I beat Super Mario Galaxy, was just grinding for the purple comet stars. So I ended up emulating Super Mario Galaxy 2 on my PC. And it was a great experience. It was awesome. I played a little bit of the sequel, I think, but I never owned it. And again, I had a friend who owned it and played it a lot, but I don't remember really playing it that much when it came out. So, but yeah, there's more to it than just the setting. Grungen says, I always felt Nintendo controllers were freaking weird and alien and a little malformed. And that's definitely one of the other, you know, neat things about this game is it being built around the Wii. Let's go pick up I gotta get my Wii remote. So yes, one of the great things about our beloved Nintendo Wii is the Wii Remote. Here's a nice black one with Wii Motion Plus inside. I don't think I'm not moving it enough. And yeah, this a fantastic piece of work. It looks quite elegant, I would say. It's not like weird and oblong. And that's really one of the best things about it, is it's shaped like a remote, which is an object that everyday people are familiar with. So when Grandma comes over and you're like, Grandma, I got the new Nintendo and I can play tennis or baseball or whatever, it's something that you could even convince Grandma to give a shot. Because honestly, this is like weird and alien to like, regular person, someone who's not a gamer. And I guess I should be getting me out of the corner. But yeah, regular game controller is weird and alien, whereas this is like really normal stuff. This is something that people are kind of familiar with. It's really easy to pick up. You know exactly where your hands go, and your hands immediately are covering the A and B buttons, right? So for really simple games, it's awesome. Unfortunately, for anything else, it can be a pain in the butt if you're a developer working on the next Call of Duty. It's cool that you can like point and shoot with this, but we need like a lot more buttons than just, A and B. So we also have the nunchuck. I love the name nunchuck. It's wired, right? And it hooks up into the bottom little port of the Wii Remote here. And it just gives you a few other buttons. We have the famous control stick, ripped almost straight off of the GameCube, complete with its, what is this? Not a hexagon, octagonal inlay here. And that's one of the things people love the most about the GameCube controller, is that unlike other analog sticks, which is just a clean circle, this has clear directions for you to point it in that it kind of more easily snaps to, which is fun. But yeah, other than that, just the C and the Z buttons on the back here. Really tiny little guys. And there's a little bit of motion in here. It's not like, I think it's just an accelerometer, but no, gyroscope or anything. And so I guess technically, both the Wii Remote and the Nunchuck, they both have an accelerometer in them, which just senses some fairly basic motion. The other big innovation, though, is the Wii Remote's pointer. So you have a sensor bar like this. This is a quote-unquote wireless sensor bar, because the original sensor bar was wired. It plugged directly into the Wii, but it's not sending or receiving any data. It's literally just powering two sets of infrared LEDs on either side of the bar. And the real technology is in the Wii Remote itself. It has this IR camera inside here, looking for those infrared lights, so that wherever it's pointed, it knows where, the bottom or top of your TV is supposed to be. And it knows exactly how far apart the LEDs are. So using that information, you can point around on the screen, which is pretty awesome. And an innovation that continued to work into the HD generation. The Wii, not an HD console, but it had to be compatible with all of those HD flat panel displays. Whereas like light guns, for example, were not compatible with flat panel LCD screens. But today you can still use a Wii remote and an IR bar and everything like that with a modern day TV, and it works just fine. But those innovations right there, a little bit of motion. It doesn't, it's not a gyroscope. That comes later with Wii Motion Plus. So it doesn't have 6 degrees of freedom or anything like that. It can't sense all motion, but it can sense just a little bit of shaking, plus pointing and clicking, and a very comfortable shape. All of that combined with the world's greatest killer app, which is Wii Sports, that made the Wii the success it is today. Wii Sports is such a simple little game. We're playing games we already know how to play: tennis, bowling, baseball. Some are, more kind of action timing oriented, but bowling isn't. And those are games that anybody can play. So that's really what made it a sensation. People that I never even thought of as gamers who were going out to buy a Wii just because they played Wii Sports and they were like, dude, this is awesome. And I have I'm retired, so I have money to buy a Wii, whereas like me as a kid is like $250 is the most money I've ever thought of in my life. But you bet your bottom dollar I saved up every penny to buy a Wii of my own. And yes, my famous tale is that I was calling around to all sorts of retailers to find out when they were going to get a shipment of Wiis. And I finally found one, but they just happened to be getting a shipment when I was busy, like that morning, the morning of, that they would be getting them. So I wouldn't be able to camp out or anything. And it was a commitment like I could not get out of. So I paid a friend of mine to camp out for me. And my poor friend also, this is my friend who had a GameCube, had Wind Waker, told me about stabbing Ganon through the head, and they didn't have a Wii. And they were going to camp out and buy me a Wii for, it was like a $20 Best Buy gift card or something that I gave them. Like, really was not that much, but they really did me a solid. And of course, they got to come over and play. So I have some awesome footage that maybe I'll have to share someday of the two of us on that unboxing day. Like, the box is still on the ground. We just got it hooked up. We're playing Wii Sports for the first time. And I am so blessed to have file footage of that moment of my life. Amazing time. But the phenomenon did not stop there. I mean, it went on well beyond 2006, 2007, even 2008. And so, yeah, the Wii was the home console I grew up with. And while there were lots of poor third-party games, Nintendo's first-party output was phenomenal. And Super Mario Galaxy, this was 2007. So yeah, just about a year after the Wii had come out, and we got to see what Nintendo was going to do with Mario on their new console. So I gotta catch it back up on all of the chat comments though. You're so right again, about different consoles giving cool, unique games. Like PS1 getting the best D-pad 3D platformer, and N64 giving an analog stick-controlled full 3D camera game. Yeah, absolutely. All sorts of games. Yeah, the PS1, these games that make so much use of the CD storage space that N64 games couldn't really. So they have, beautiful sweeping soundtracks, things like that. That helped, differentiate them and made them cool. Now that all modern controllers look like beige hospital bed remotes, I miss the whimsy of older Nintendo. A little bit, right? Like I said, it's a double-edged sword. It's interesting that the Wii U's Virtual Console let you buy DS games, so you could play, with a touchscreen on the bottom screen is your Wii U gamepad, and the big screen is the other screen, but they weren't made to be played that way. Some games I can't even imagine playing them like that. And even then, that's better than what can the Switch possibly offer? There's no way you can play any of their awesome Nintendo DS back catalog on the Switch without, I don't know, maybe holding it vertically and then, like, I don't know. It's hard to imagine. So there's, like, pros and cons to it, but for sure, there's a whimsy to it. Bulldozer89 says, one of my best memories as a kid is having an unexpected snow day and playing Mario Galaxy 1 for probably 12 hours straight. That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. I have a memory of playing Twilight Princess under a similar condition. It's a snow day, or maybe it was just a weekend, but there was snow outside, and I'm inside, and I'm playing that, like, ice temple, and everything just felt right. That's a great, great moment. My grandma loved the Wii and DS. She owned 3 DS Lites, wow, and played hundreds of hours of Animal Crossing and Clubhouse games. Clubhouse games, that would be awesome. Wow. 3 DS Lites, why 3? Was she burning through them? For me, the L and R buttons kept breaking on all my DSs, but I played a lot of shooters on my DSs, so that's probably why. Lots of drifting in Mario Kart. The Wii Remote is a great controller. My only complaint is the D-pad is so tiny. Yeah, it's true. It's a little too small for the, one of the other neat ideas is holding it sideways to be able to play 2D games, not unlike the N64 controller having a D-pad option and a analog stick option. But it's true, the D-pad is pretty small compared to what we're used to today. And just generally, it's not as comfortable as you'd hope it would be. And there's a limited set of buttons. It's like an NES controller, the number of buttons. Wii Sports Bowling was such an amazing craze. It's so true. So true. And it still holds up. Nintendo Switch Sports is basically the same deal, just on the Switch, and it's still great. I saved up about $3,000 from not eating lunch when I was 14. I got it confiscated. No Wii option. Sorry to laugh at your trauma, but no Wii option is pretty funny. $3,000 for one Wii. I honestly don't know. I remember that $250. It was my money, but I don't know. I wasn't skipping lunch. I guess I was mowing lawns. I guess is really the only way I don't really know how else I was. What else was I doing to earn money back then? Selling copies of Crazy Stick Man. But yeah, it was hard work. All my friends, they were getting like an Xbox for Christmas or a GameCube or something, and my parents did not. They were not spending that kind of money on me for Christmas. But hey, that just made the Wii all the more sweeter when I bought it with my own money. And then made my own financial mistakes buying every stupid licensed game under the sun and realizing it was a waste of money. So, alright. Enough chit-chat. I mean, there will be lots of more chit-chat, don't worry. But we're here to play Super Mario Galaxy. Great, great Mario game. Let's take a look at my... Should I? No, let's start a new save. Let's just start a new save, and we'll kind of see. We'll see how far we get. Oh, what's our icon going to be? It's going to be Mario, because it's his day. It's not Yoshi's day. Whoa, what did we do? No me option, huh? You could replace the planet with a me, but... Every 100 years, a comet appears in the skies above the Mushroom Kingdom. The comet was so large one year, it filled the skies and sent countless shooting stars raining down. Be sure to bookmark this for ASMR later. You gotta go to bed. The toads brought the shooting stars to the castle, where they became a great power star. It should have been a very happy time for the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom. That was the night of the Star Festival, held once every 100 years to celebrate the comet.
Dear Mario, I'll be waiting for you at the castle on the night of the Star Festival. There's something I'd like to give you. From Peach.
I wonder what it could be. Look at him. I love the intro. Mario is so happy. He's like Naruto running around. Okay, so yes, first of all, we can point at the screen to pick up little star bits. These are basically like the coins, where it's like, oh, you might as well pick them up, but if you don't pick them up, it's like not really a problem. Are you collecting star? Oh, I'm trying to talk to you. Hey Mario, see this star I have? Grab as many of them as you can. I guess they're star bits. See the star bit I have? Grab as many of them as you can. The view from here is just the best. La 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 la. The castle is just down this path. You can't miss it. So there is a two-player mode where a second player can connect their controller just to do this, just to swipe around on the screen and try and pick up star bits. But the star bits are, what, just used for unlocking planets? Oh my lord. Oh my gosh. Oh my goy. Of course, freaking Bowser's here on a pirate ship. Look, Lunky 436, a pirate ship. Now, be paying attention. How much of this is going to appear in the upcoming Super Mario Galaxy movie? Their little capes, little toe capes. She doesn't seem that worried. Princess Peach, you are formally invited to the creation of my new galaxy. Gwaha! I think he's doing the Gwaha. This festival's over. How's my Bowser, you guys? What do you think? Gets the idea across. Mario. Alright, we got business to attend to. Panic and fear! Panic and fear! How could this happen? What should we do? It's Bowser! Protect the princess! I'll stand guard here. Hurry to the princess! Oh no! Whoa. And all these toads are stuck in their ice crystals, and we can't do a dang thing about it. The festival is ruined. Ow! Ow! The princess is this way. Oh, it's all just too horrible for words. Going to my happy place. Trying not to panic. The princess is just up ahead. Bulldozer89 says, so what are our Super Mario Galaxy movie predictions? Well, did you hear the new casting news today? Did you hear who's been announced to be voicing Yoshi? So long. Enjoy your flight. Whoops. Not looking good for our Caped Crusade. No, he's just a regular guy. Our overallman.
Oh. Oh.
Huh?
Yeah.
So I gotta say, I think there's a little more color banding in this version of the game, but that's okay. Finally, you're awake. Let's play. We'll try not to think about it too much. Jump with B. Or A. Either one works. So this is a fun homage to, you know, the rabbit from Super Mario 64, like we were talking about before, huh? Let's play hide and seek. If you catch all of us, we'll tell you about where you are. Okay. Mario Galaxy movie predictions. I mean, there's Jack Black has to sing another song, right? Oh, I'm not supposed to go in there. That's probably a pretty safe prediction, but you caught me. I bet they do another Super Mario Bros. Rap, dude. What if Charlie Day does a Luigi rap? That would be pretty sick. Updated for the kids. Yoshi, more like chicken jockey. Oh my gosh. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Okay, so in case it's not obvious, the big new gimmick in this game is that there's like a giant world, a globe, that you can navigate around. So the planets in each galaxy are they're small, and they have their own little gravity, but you can circumnavigate them with ease. Man, I keep flicking my wrist like a chump. I gotta pick up those bunnies. And this music is so serene. Like I said, the music in the whole game is rather grand. Here's a little subdued. But this is just supposed to be the little intro level. Just give me a moment to... Okay. Sorry, Mario, it's time to get moving. Okay, I need to find the other rabbits. There's one. Oh. Hello. Oh my gosh. Got him. You caught me! Check it out. I should have hidden in the grass. So he wasn't a rabbit the whole time? They can transform? Now, a lot of the original, Super Mario 64 moveset is retained in these games. We still have the long jump. Oh, didn't need to jump in there. We still got the triple jump. I think. Where's our triple jump? Why isn't he triple jumping? There we go. We got the side jump. We got the back flip. Need to find a third aminal. I plan on seeing the movie twice. One so I can enjoy the pure spectacle, and the other for deep analysis. Don't you have a YouTube channel that's going to do the deep analysis for you? I can't believe I let myself get caught. Wow, you caught all of us. Maybe you really can help Mama. Huh? Only a man that can catch all 3 rabbits could help Mama. Or woman. Sorry about bringing you here so suddenly. We should probably tell you where you are. There's a connection here to deep space, far from your lands. We call it the gateway to the starry sky. Mama's waiting up above. Please help her with whatever she asks. Please do as Mama asks. I don't think I've seen the Mario movie since it came out. Since my first viewing. I couldn't beat the first viewing. Seeing it with you, Bulldozer89, was a transformative experience. So why would I want to watch it with anyone else? I've been watching you from here. This place is called the Gateway to the Starry Sky. My name is Rosalina. I watch over and protect the cosmos. To save your special one, you'll need the power to travel through space. Luma can give you this power. I will entrust you with his care. That's right. Just straight into his throat. You have the ability to spin now. Shake Joy-Con right. You can also spin with Y. Disaster has struck us just as it has visited you. With Luma, I hope you can rescue the grand stars. May the stars shine down on you. And just like Christ, she ascended into the heavens, never to be seen again. Other than, like, in visions and stuff. Shake right or press Y to spin into things that look breakable, and you can even spin enemies to stun them. Like that, for example. This is a launch star. Shake right or press Y when you're near one to shoot through space like a comet. Now go and explore the universe. There are lots and lots of galaxies for you to discover. So yes, here's the other thing, Wii-specific thing in this game, is when you... I'm trying to talk to him, I want to jump into it. Shake with the right Joy-Con, the Wii remote, if you will, to use our little Luma in my cap. Hi there, good to see you. I have some bad news, though. See, I had a launch star all ready for you, but a meteor smashed it up. You can't leave without it, so find all the star chips to fix it. Oh, and be sure not to fall in the black hole. So yeah, now we can run around and flick our wrist to do our little spin attack, separate from jumping. And this, to me, I feel is a much better augment of Mario's abilities than Flood and the water stuff. It's way easier to control. It's really easy to just play the game like normal Mario. You don't, without any of these new mechanics. But then adding the flick of the wrist, it's not any more difficult, of course, to run around and do your jumps and all that movement while also flicking the wrist, right? So it's a nice natural addition. there are definitely some levels where they use the Wii Remote in gimmicky ways, but Mario's movement is thankfully not one of them, so... that's why it's one of the greats. It's as good as its predecessors, maybe even better than its predecessors, because the additions are totally net positives. You know, they don't really drag things down, make things worse. Get me out of here. One of those enemies should have the key. You can shake or press Y to spin them around and makes them dizzy. Once they're stunned, just run into them. Okay, back to the Mario movie. I saw they're making Yoshi popcorn buckets. I love it. Need to buy a house so I can own more plastic with specialized and limited use cases. Exactly. Every so often, when you make enough popcorn to necessitate a bucket, then you can choose from one of your many buckets that are going to be a pain in the butt to clean. That Yoshi popcorn bucket can sit right next to my Dune popcorn bucket. Oh, of course, of course. What that mouth do? I'm imagining Bulldozer saying exactly that. What that mouth do? What else was I going to say? Yeah, I have not seen the Mario movie, I don't think, since it came out. I guess I gotta rewatch it again to... transform! I love that they do that. I gotta rewatch the movie before I see the new one. I've been thinking of ways where I can sprint over to Kansas City to make sure I get to watch the new Mario movie with you, Bulldozer, but I don't know if I'm going to be available the weekend that it comes out. Doom, 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 doom. Oh, alright, alright, alright. But yeah, I also have not seen the original Mario movie in a long time. Super Mario Bros. When I was younger, I had Netflix DVD by mail. And so one of the first movies I remember getting was the Super Mario Bros. Movie, because I had heard all about it, but I had never actually seen it. And I knew it, like, wasn't very good, but I still wanted to, like, to check it out, you know? And so sure enough, it wasn't very good, and it was, like, kind of creepy and uncomfortable, but I'm not a child of the 80s when that movie came out, where, like, creature effects like that maybe were more appreciated. Or maybe they're more appreciated now that we don't really have creature effects like that as much, right? Come on. So I do kind of want to rewatch it just to be able to, like, appreciate the production design, the makeup. But everything else, you know, from what I remember, it's like very much a bastardization of anything Mario. The only Mario aspect of it is that Miyamoto shows up at the end. They're using the Grand Star to power that awful machine. It looks like it's making something. Yeah, it looks like it's making soft serve. We have to do something before the Grand Star's power is drained. Quick, find a way to stop that terrible machine. Please, save the Grand Star before it's too late. So, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, the new Illumination animated movie, is a really interesting complement to Super Mario Bros., the 80s movie, because it's almost like the opposite, where, like, it is crazily faithful to Mario. It does feel so much more like what, you know, playing the Mario games is actually like. kind of to a fault. Like, they do have one segment where Mario is literally doing, like, a platforming routine, and you just have to wonder why. Why is he doing that? Do they really need to include it in the game? Or in the movie? Just because it's in the game, I guess? I don't know. Turn off the flip switches on the floor to shut down this machine. I'm already doing it! But yeah, it's a little tepid and bland in some ways. It's not, you know, in my opinion, there is no need for a Mario movie. That's like the biggest problem. It's like, Mario is not a game about narrative. It's all about gameplay. So if you're gonna make a movie about like the characters and stuff, what is it even gonna be about? So you watch the movie and you're like, eh, it was okay. It was fine. I mean, it looks and feels a lot like Mario, which is more than the original Mario movie can say, but it still just feels like, I just don't understand why we're doing this. Besides money, of course. Of course we're doing this for money. So the last one, yeah, it made a poop ton of money. We're about to get a whole new one. Donald Glover will be voicing Yoshi. So you know I'm going to be there for that. iDrake says, I still haven't seen the other movie one that's out now. Come on, man. You gotta catch up. Mario's running away from you. What do you got against Chris Pratt? Name more than 5 things, alright? I bet you can. I bet you can only name one reason why you don't like him. A new galaxy. Alright, so here we are. We finally made it to the, like, overworld, I guess? The beacon is lit again. It shines weakly, maybe only as bright as a Class 6 star, but at least the poor Lumas will survive now. Oh, thank you for saving the Grand Star. These star people are my family. They mean so much to me. Welcome to the Comet Observatory. It's my home, and also home to the Lumas. You see, we travel the starry skies. We pass by this area once every 100 years, but we suddenly stopped in front of this planet. A strange force had latched onto our ship, pulling away star bits and our power source, power stars. Our ship had lost power, so it entered a deep hibernation state in which it could not move. Those who took your special one picked up the power stars and discovered the power to cross the universe.
Please.
Please, I have a request. This observatory uses star power to project images of the galaxies that are scattered across space. And there is a chance we can use our few remaining stars to look for other power stars. These round rooms are called domes. We observe galaxies from domes such as these, but the only one that is working now, powered by the star power you restored, is this one, the terrace. Please go to the terrace and try to recover the power stars from the galaxies you can see from there. If we do that, we'll be able to restore the Comet Observatory's ability to fly like a starship. Then perhaps we can pursue the thieves who ran off with the power stars. Save your game? Absolutely! Now you'll notice it's taking us a little longer to like get going, which is very indicative of, you know, Nintendo's MO. They're a little less willing to just like drop you somewhere and have you figure it out. But even in Super Mario 64, they won't let you start any level without a Lakitu or whoever talking to you about like, hey, by the way, in this stage the ice is slippery, and you're like, yes, I get it. This is the garage. Hello! So as you can imagine, our access will expand, the place will grow, more people, more inhabitants will arrive. Welcome! This dome acts as an eye of the observatory. From here we can gaze upon distant galaxies. Once this Luma transforms into a pole star, he will guide you to those faraway galaxies. Simply point your star at the pole star and press A. If you lose sight of the star, you can reset it with R. If you're playing in handheld mode, you can just tap on directly on screen. Well, I'm not. These are the galaxies that can be observed from this dome. The numbers represent their distance from the observatory. The bigger the number, the greater the distance. The more power stars you find, the farther you will be able to travel. Alright, let's go. Guess we can't go there yet. Yes, it's undeniable. We're detecting power star energy patterns in the nearest galaxy, but I must warn you that the evil energy readings are off the charts. Please be careful. Evil energy readings. What are they using to sense evil energy? Alright, no matter. This is our first, like, true blue galaxy. They were, what would you have called them before? Worlds? Or, like, levels? So yeah, here's our first legit one. Good Egg Galaxy with Dino Piranha. And we get our grand sweeping soundtrack. We've got a whole new woman? Princess Peach is still our damsel in distress. But now, like, Rosalina is a different kind of princess. Who's kind of here to aid our journey. Mother to all the star things, the starries. I've already forgotten what they're called. To pick up star bits, scan around, touch them with you. I know how to do that. 50 gives you a 1-up, and it really wouldn't hurt to store some up. So yeah, you can collect star bits with the pointer. You can't collect coins with the pointer, so you still gotta go pick those up. You can shoot star bits at enemies like this, which stuns them and makes them easy for you to just walk up and whack them, so you don't have to, like, hop on them. But yeah, you mostly want to save your star bits so that you can unlock certain galaxies. You pay people to do certain things for you. They're usually not asking for coins. They're usually asking for star bits. Now, again, the ingenious element of this is that it just plays nicely. Walking around like that, for example, you know, where gravity and the direction of travel completely flips on you. It's kind of amazing that it just, like, works, and it's not, like, a pain that you're having to wrestle with. I'm not going to get up there yet, though. I'm going to go down and, into this hole. What's going on in here? Okay, so here's the question for you guys. Do you think that you're going to like the Super Mario Galaxy movie more than the Super Mario Bros. Movie? Because I feel like I have, like, such a lukewarm, like, tepid appreciation of the most recent movie, that it's kind of hard for me to imagine a new movie. Like, how would I even compare the original to it? Am I gonna... I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe it'll be like Gremlins 2, where, like, they're just gonna be able to lean so far into what they know works and just end up lampooning themselves. That'd be fun. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think Nintendo would ever let them do that. If you get tired and want to return to the observatory, press plus and select return to the observatory, but you can't bring back any star bits you picked up, so be careful. Got it. Whee! So yeah, you do something like that, don't worry, the center of gravity of the planet will still keep you from falling all the way off. but there are still holes and things, so it's not like there's no danger. I think I'll like it about the same, maybe a little less, because it feels even more unoriginal as a sequel. That's kind of my expectation, right? If anything, I'm going to walk out of it, like, a little disappointed, but I don't know. Oh, man. But I do dislike Chris Pratt, and the fact that I keep going to see dumb movies he's in. Yeah, true. You were there to see Mercy day one. You were at the Mercy fan event. You got to take so many pictures with that Chris Pratt cardboard cutout. So it looked like you were praying with him, which was really cool. I'm so stupid for walking right in front of that like a chump. Mercy was so bad, it's literally not even funny. Actually, it is funny. I would have seen that movie with you had the snowstorm not imperiled us both. Oh my gosh. Okay, now here's something else you'll notice. There's only 3 segments of the life meter now, whereas before there were, 6 or 8 or something like that? And the star bits will not increase your health. Only coins will. And if you stun an enemy and kill them, like if you stun them with star bits, you'll only get star bits back. So, food for thought. Okay, now we gotta keep wiggling and waggling. Well, that's not so bad. There are later levels that are totally built on top of your Wii Remote accelerometer, and those are not as good. But look at that, huh? That's pretty fun. We get little thwacking balls to thwack into the balls. Like so. Don't even get me started on his freaking prayer app. Yes, I know. I don't want to out you in front of everybody, but you are one of the #1 users on the app. I don't know how they keep track of, like, high scores on there, but you have, like, the highest prayer score of anybody in the state. And we're a fairly religious state, so that's honestly kind of surprising. But I guess Chris Pratt and his prayer app is just so unpopular. It kind of begs the question, I don't really know why you use it so often. It does occasionally keep me up at night, but obviously marriage is all about compromise, so I don't really complain about it too much. Whoa! What's this? No. No? Come on. I mean, one of these felt pretty good. A lot of these have not been good, to be fair, but at least one of these was good enough, right? Or am I supposed to be... Yeah, sorry, I'm supposed to be using my... Silly me. At a certain point I was like, this is actually not supposed to be possible. What's the name of these enemies? I don't even know. They kind of look like Octoroks from Zelda, but they're like spotted. Galaxy Octorok. Bulldozer says, I think I'll probably enjoy Mario Galaxy more. I have to imagine they're going to go all out since they're skipping Super Mario World and skipping straight to Galaxy. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They probably should have done World first. Can they go to world after galaxy? What are they gonna do next, honestly? This is so great. I love how adorable this is. The mystical music, and you're like, ooh, who is this? What is happening? Uh-oh. This is what it's like to wake up in the morning. Not me, but somebody else. Oh, whoops. Sorry, let me just maneuver around quickly. Smack. He ran out of pedals. He's so sad. Now he's just taking a nap. Maybe not. Super Mario Galaxy. Yeah, I mean, of course they're going to want to make another movie after this, but like, what are they going to call it? Can they do Odyssey? Would that work? Maybe they're going to go 2D. What if they call the next one Super Mario Land 2? The Super Mario Land 2 movie. Excuse me. Yoshi's World. Dude, that's what I should be playing right now. F Super Mario Galaxy. I guess that is still a world. Okay, so look, you get the idea. This is Mario, this is his galaxy. Most delectable, tastiest bits imaginable. If you're playing in handheld mode, you can... I know, I'm not, though! Shoot them by aiming and pressing. Yeah, okay. Here's a tutorial. Do it right now. Try it out right now. Feed them star bits. Tasty. Let's call those little morsels my fee for this lesson. You can also shoot them at enemies or feed them to a hungry Luma. Either way, I'm sure star bits will be a big help on your adventure. Okay, well, I haven't unlocked any other galaxies. Well, actually, that's right. This is the... You go into the observatory, you come up here, and then they're like, guess what? You could go to some of these other ones, but I don't have enough stars. I'm calling it right here. I don't want to do this anymore. I love this game, but you get the idea. That's Super Mario Galaxy, okay? Let's actually quit. Okay. Do you really want to quit? Yes! It's too late for me, bro. Okay. Now let's move on to another Mario game before the night is over. The night is nigh, as you may know. But as you may also know, we still have one other Mario game to play. Mario Galaxy, like I said, it did get a direct sequel, which not many Mario games get. Both of which came out on the Wii and were pretty successful. But then we got the Wii U, and the Wii U did not get its own legit 3D Mario. It got Super Mario 3D World, sequel to Super Mario 3D Land on the 3DS.
Super Mario
But we had to wait for Super Mario Odyssey to... from options, data management. So yeah, what does this look like? Data management. Load and save. Okay, so we do have some... I see. So yeah, let's start a new game and just kind of see what happens here, huh? We had to wait for the Nintendo Switch to get Super Mario Odyssey, the next legit, 3D Mario game. And so it does get to make use of some of the motion control that, that Super Mario Galaxy got to use with the Wii Remote. For an even further augmented control scheme. In the skies above Peach's castle. Whoa, in media res? Whoa. Oh yeah, now we get HD Rumble. Rumble with a little more flavor. That's what I call it. This is the end for you. Oh, not my cap. My all-important cap. It's what makes me Mario. Whoa! Oh. Somehow I was not anticipating that. Why does her helmet have eyes on it? That's alright. I'm sure I'll get his cap back. Oh. Time for my wedding with Peach. Jealous, Mario? Peach and I have always been in love, but, somehow we never quite sealed the deal. Oh! Just to make it clear, that cap ain't coming back. Oh, no! Except... someone with a cool hairdo found it. Hair poking out of their top hat. How does that work? How does that happen? Out of the top of their top hat. Hello? I love that in these games, like on the Switch, they'll just have like a full video of a human hand on the Joy-Con. The kind of thing that like they didn't even bother with in any previous generation console because they just don't have the space. But here it's like, oh no, it's not a problem being able to do that. Whoa! Oh my gosh, she ran away. Let's get to moving. Woohoo! Woohoo! Gotta do my best Charles Martinet. Woohoo! Woohoo! You're not one of them, are you? Be hiding. You okay? You must be brave. So sorry for running away like that. You startled me, and I do startle easily. I saw what happened earlier. You've been through quite the ringer. You've landed in the Cap Kingdom. We've been under attack by the same monster that gave you such a trouncing. And to make matters worse, the fiend has kidnapped my little sister. I'd hoped to give chase to that monster in a ship of my own. Unfortunately, all of our airships were wrecked in the attack. Oh. Although, now that I think on it, I'm fairly certain there's a functioning ship in the next kingdom over. I could get us there, if only I could reach the top of Top Hat Tower, which is being guarded by the monster's henchmen. You know, it seems we're after the same thing. Perhaps we should team up. Let's see if we can't help those two. Mario, he's so trusting. He's just like, yeah, we're best friends now. Oh!
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on! Not your style? How about this? Cappy! That'll work. Check it out. Cappy is now my companion. Try throwing me with Y! So now we've got like a boomerang. We can press Y to throw him, or you can shake the controller. Which is nice. That's just one thing, you know, no matter how much you try to get people to like and appreciate your motion controls, they always whine and complain when they don't have an option. They're like, this should just be a button. This game is pretty interesting because a lot of those controls, they are just buttons, but they operate a little better with motion controls. For example, in a bit we'll use a different character to jump, and they're like, you can press a button to jump, but you can use the gyro to jump higher. I appreciate that. I kind of like that. You know, you can feasibly complete the game without using the gyro, but like, you should use it. It'll make things a little more fun, a little easier. Welcome to Bonneton, pride of the Cap Kingdom. Do you know about the action guide? Yeah, I know. Be careful out there. Okay, so yeah, there's an action guide. If you press the pause menu, you go to action guide, and they'll just tell you all of the different controls and the different moves that you can do, which is kind of nice. Again, they show you like a whole video of like how it works and the different buttons you have to press. If you're using 2 Joy-Cons versus, yeah, if you're using a 1/2, a side of a Joy-Con, things like that. And it's a nice out-of-the-way way of like, if you need more help, here's where you can find more help, but I'm not gonna like force you to to engage with any of it, you know? My airship, my beautiful airship, ruined! So yeah, we can press Y to throw him out, and he'll come back. We can press and hold Y, and he'll stay out there, even as we run around doing other stuff for a long period of time, but not an infinite amount of time. And we can also have him spin around on objects like this, other similar objects. I can see the monster's minions from here, but all I can do is float helplessly and watch. Are you headed for the Top Hat Tower? The entrance is up ahead. I am headed for Top Hat Tower. This game is awesome, and I would love to have a Nintendo Switch 2 just to play this at a higher resolution. It is a little low res. Leaves a little something to be desired. It's not so bad though, but it'd be beautiful to get to play this at a higher resolution. But odd little fellows. They seem to know you, and not like you. We got all these posters of Bowser and Peach. A royal wedding. I had to lean towards the screen to see that. Try throwing me at that door. Yeah, but what about all of these coins I can be getting? So yeah, we can throw them here, for example, get us a bunch of coins. Now, unlike Mario Galaxy, mind you, we really do have access to like more buttons on the controller than on the Wii remote. Check this out. I've always loved that cutscene. Like JPEGs of frogs stretched. Mustachioed frog, and I'm sorry, but Charles Martinet. This is what, his last performance as Mario? One of his last. I guess he's probably on some Mario Party or something. But him giving us his Mario doing a ribbit. I can't even attempt it. Okay, so yeah, we can jump with B, but then we can also shake the controllers to jump even higher. But like, this is high enough, right? I mean, it's not like we have to be jumping higher. It's just, you know, more fun. And certainly makes some challenges easier. Look at these little tiny, little yellow Goomba. Why are they so small, and why are they yellow? I do not know. Oh. Come on. So many coins. Oh, clonk. I did a flip. Flip in the air. Oh, look out. Come on. It's my duty to rid this world of evil, and so I must squash every single enemy. Sorry, they're just called enemies. I shouldn't have said that. That was a little too much. Clonk. Clonk. They're like, alright, aren't you done? Oh no, am I? There's nothing else to get up here? I don't think so. Oh, uh-oh. Check it out. This was in Super Mario Galaxy as well. We're retaining the 3 pieces of life. But yeah, you can sometimes find little parts that'll give you 3 extra. I'm so scared I can hardly move. That monster's long-eared henchmen are still on Top Hat Tower. I say, do be careful. I say. Ooh, and then they clap for me for doing such a good job. Hello, long-eared henchmen. The boss warned me there'd be a fellow with a mustache coming along. Guess we ought to introduce ourselves. We're the wedding planners for the happy couple. They call us the Brudals. We got that treasure we needed, so we ain't no more business in these parts. Of course, roughing up goody two-shoes meddlers was in the contract, so I guess we still got a little work to do. Our first boss battle. Oh, whoops. Yeah. That's all it took. 3 isn't the magic number, it's just 2? But I guess, yeah, it's the first boss, so... Just a little intro, a taste, if you will. Now, check this out. Mustachioed Electric Mario, and he zooms off into the distance underneath a giant yellow moon. For, wait for it, the title card! Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Cascade Kingdom. They got electricity in Cascade Kingdom, huh? Man, this goes quite the distance. He's in pain. Oh, now it's disconnected. Won't be going back that way. That's an image I've seen all over the internet. Mario on all 4s like that. going, woo, yeah, what a ride. And we made it to the Cascade Kingdom. Sorry, still a bit amped from capturing a power line. Must collect myself. There should be an old airship somewhere around here. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, yeah? What do you know? Waterfall Basin. Okay, so the last kingdom is a kingdom, but this one is a little more like the kingdoms that we'll see, where there actually are, you know, where moons. That's what we're collecting in this game versus like stars. And purple coins as well. That's the other thing. Check it out. I'm a mustachioed chain chomp now. So, let's see. Oops. So yeah. I can use him just like he used himself in Super Mario 64. Pop open that gate. Our first moon. Oh, sorry. Our first power moon. And they even date stamp it, which is kind of fun to go back and see. When did I get all of these? Multi-moon atop the falls. Excuse me? What's going on up there? Oh, we found a power moon. What a lucky break. This will come in handy to power the airship. Have you ever seen anything like it? I have not. So the gist is that... Well, I guess we're about to get to the gist, huh? Here's our airship. There it is. This is what we've been looking for. It's looking a bit more rough than I'd expected. Ah, no, it's just an older model. I'm certain it can still fly. Let's give it a shot, shall we? Just throw me on that globe there. There you go. One moon. Blunk. Okay. Huh? Nothing's happening? That power moon must not have given the ship enough energy. I wonder if we can find more around here. So that's the gist, is that in each of these zones that we go to, we gotta find at least enough power moons to escape the premises. There's a minimum number that we need to be able to leave, but there's way more than you need. And then, yes, these are kind of the red coins. There's 50 in this level. There's a different number for each level. But there's a finite number, and once you've collected them, you've got them forever. You can die or leave and come back. But yes, you also want to try and collect all of the purple coins. Whereas regular coins, that that has now taken place of the lives. So in this game, you don't have like one-ups or a finite number of lives, but instead you have coins. And every time you die, it just sucks away a few coins. So there's no like 100 coin challenge or anything like that. And check it out. Doesn't get better than this. Mustachioed Mario Dinosaur. That's right. Think we can attack? Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, he jumped so high. Could dinosaurs really jump that high? This is when they decided they had to make, what's the name of that game? Donkey Kong Bonanza, right? Alright, that's enough. You get the idea. Those giant dinosaurs and other similarly sized. I actually can't. I'm not really sure what other. Are there other baddies like that? But yeah, they can only be captured for so long. Now he's back up here sleeping. We'll go bother him later. So this is what I'm talking about. The moons are much easier to find. You got a moon. Cool. And we move on. There's not a whole song and dance for them all, just like the one that we found before, so... But I think that's why I like this one probably the most, is the quality of life stuff just makes it, like, more fun than most of Nintendo's Mario games, you know? Even in Mario Galaxy, there was a lot of stop and go. And the problem I had with that game was I eventually gave it up. I beat the game on my most recent playthrough, but I didn't 100% it because... there we go. Because to 100% it, you need, like, these purple, or, you know, these comet stars. So, randomly, a comet will fly over a planet and give you a chance to get, like, a different star. But when you're in, like, the end game, and you're just, like, hunting for those, I don't want them to be random. I need, like, I end up having to pay a bunch of star bits just to shuffle a comet around until it finally lands on a planet that I actually need the star for, or whatever. And that became so tedious, you know? It's kind of a little thing, but... oh my gosh, it was such a pain in the butt having to do that so much. But I mean, I already beat the game at that point, so like I said, it's not like it's really a bad game for that. But little things like that, I didn't really miss. We already saw, just playing Mario Galaxy, that yeah, there's a lot of just start and stop gameplay, you know? For a time, at least. At the beginning, it is very much like, okay, wait, cutscene, let this person explain what's going on, you know? Which, like I said, is very Nintendo. Fortunately, unfortunately. But this game, I don't know, it's on another level. There's lots of quality of life stuff. You can collect moons, they don't stop and end everything. Still feels like a celebration of Mario. We get these fun little 2D sections. Oops. Once again, lots of great addictive music. I don't know, I feel like this is kind of cementing it for me, that this is my favorite Mario. But yeah, we're racking up moons so quickly. So it's a bit more of a collectathon in that sense. But I don't really mind it because, like I said, the quality of life stuff makes it more fun. Games like, you know, Rare's games, Banjo-Tooie specifically, and Donkey Kong 64 especially, are known for being really tedious. They're just, the maps are, like, arduous to navigate. They have to get around and no, not quite. Yeah, good enough. But that's not really the case in this game. In these games, it's pretty fun to get around. It's really easy to find out, like, what moons am I missing? Where do I need to go next? Especially in the end game. When you're like, alright, I've blown through the game. Now it's time for me to scoop up all the leftovers. It's really fun and easy to do that. What's this? You say you need to repair some silly old airship? Why, I could never part with any of my precious power moons. It sounds to me like someone wants to be a snack for my adorable chain chompikins. Chain chompikins. Look out. Splendid. So now we get to use the skill that we learned this entire map on our main boss. Just like that. This time it was 3. Rule of 3s. And don't worry, she also exploded. Let's get you some power moons. Doonch, 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 doonch. Multi-moon atop the falls. A little spin. Alright, we've done it. We got the multi-moon. This will get the ship moving in no time. Let's see if we can make it work. Throw him on the globe. He can't do it himself. So many moons, they go boom boom boom. A bubbling crude. The Odyssey is restored. Cute little ditty. And here we are, navigating the world. We have enough fuel to reach the Sand Kingdom. Let's go save those two. Why don't you take the helm? Just select the Sand Kingdom and press A and we'll be off. So before we leave, we do gotta check out the Sand Kingdom. Whoa. Mouth agape. Pretty impressive. Some clockwork down there. Oh yeah, gotta get a captain's hat. Thank you, Cappy. You know, just what I need. And hey, we're getting some fun HD rumble. Haptic feedback. Vibrating in the controllers. Feels nice. I don't really know how to describe it, but it feels like what we're hearing. It feels like a steam train taking off. Choo choo. Face pressed up against the glass. So, how do you like me as a captain's hat? Pretty classy, wouldn't you say? Now then, where were we? That monster's name is Bowser? Well, we'll chase him down in no time in the Odyssey. Seeing as how we've got some time to kill, let's review some useful skills. Travel tip, ground pound. To smash blocks or enemies below you or to flatten out bumps in the ground, nothing beats a ground pound. Press ZL in midair to do a ground pound and pulverize with your posterior. Well, there it is. If you need some more review, you might want to look at the action guide. Yeah, I know where the action guide is. It's always there for your perusal. Just open the menu with plus and select Action Guide. We should discuss the Sand Kingdom, too. As you've no doubt pieced together, it is entirely covered in sand, and as you can imagine, it gets quite hot. There are some ruins there, and an artifact called the Binding Band that links people forever, like a wedding ring. And this Bowser seems like just the sort of creep that would steal a priceless antiquity for his sham wedding. So yeah, each realm that you get to, each kingdom you go to, has like a little fold-out map that you can look at. Not just as the map, but it also has some extra information about the kingdom, which is cute. It's very cute. Atop the highest tower. Huzzah! I declare the maiden voyage of the Odyssey a complete success. But why is it so cold? I thought deserts were supposed to be hot. Huh? The top of that tower is shining. But how could that be? Could it be a power moon? Well, we'll have to go investigate. And so yeah, here's our map. And it's got a little fold-out here. Sand Kingdom. Toast Arena. Gateway to the stark beauty of the desert. Population, middling. Size, expansive. Locals, Toastarians, Moais. Currency, pyramid-shaped. Industry, tourism, and precious stones. Temperature, average 104 degrees Fahrenheit. The ruins greet you with an impressive gate. The Moais love their shades. They'll run if chased, but there are proud people who have long inhabited these ruins. Please be polite. So yeah, this runs at like sub 1080p when docked. Maybe closer to like 900p. But like I said, there is a update for Switch 2 that lets it play at a much higher resolution, which is very nice. You can already see just some of the little aspects of this game are a little low res. But that's fine for the Switch, though. The Switch is, honestly, yeah, pushing above its weight sometimes. The chipset that the Switch is based on is quite, I don't know, not very powerful. The Switch 2 is pretty nice, much nicer by comparison. Oops, where can we plant it? We can plant it right here. We'll come back to that later. Our fountain froze. We gotta unfreeze the town. If nothing else, so we can hear the cool music. Welcome to our shop. Look at this little doggy. Oh my gosh, he can go out. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Adorable. Hey, we accept two kinds of coins. Coin coins and coin coins. You can use your coin coins anywhere, but coin coins only right here. Hey. So yes, the coins you can spend on outfits. So each zone has its own little like exclusive outfits, stickers to put on your ship, and little statues and models that sit on the interior of your ship when you fly around. And then there's also some more generic clothes you can buy with regular coins. And each kingdom also has a power moon that you can buy with coins. Each for 100 coins, so yeah, you might as well do that. But that's the gist. Lots of great little kingdoms in this game. And I did say earlier that my goal tonight was to play all of these and get an idea of which one is my favorite. And I think I've decided that this one is my favorite. It really is the best. It's got, you know, the basis of the Mario 64 moveset, but it's augmented in just the right way. Similar to Mario 64. But with some extra bonuses, like this. You can't do this in Mario 64. And the quality of life stuff just cannot be beat. But technically there are, you know, less levels in that they're much larger as opposed to a whole bunch of intricately designed levels. I like both. I don't necessarily like one more than the other. So I'm quite happy. with this game. And once again, great music. This is a great song. I got this in my Apple Music library, don't you worry. On the leaning pillar. Anyway, you get the idea, right? That's basically the game. And it may be the end of our time together. But I do think I want to sample just one other Mario game before I go. In the 2D Mario realm, I didn't even mention, actually, maybe I should pull up Bowser's Fury instead. Remember Bowser's Fury? This was after Odyssey, right? I'd completely forgotten about Bowser's Fury. This was a big one. Well, I mean, it's quite literally a small one, but... So yeah, Super Mario 3D World came out on the Wii U. It's a pretty good game. I like it. But like I said, I'm not obsessed with it. It's not my favorite. It's alright, though. And it's much closer to the 2D Mario games in their construction. But it came out on the Wii U, and not everybody owned a Wii U, so they repackaged the game, sold it on the Switch, with a little extra, Bowser's Fury. Which is a small, short experience. And a taste of what an open world Mario might be like if we were to ever get one. If it ever loads. So yeah, what year would this have come out? Bowser's Fury. 2021 is when this game came out. Whereas 3D World came out in 2013. Holy cow, that's crazy. Almost 10 years later, we get Bowser's Fury. I'd recognize that M anywhere. It was in Super Mario Sunshine, and soon to be the Super Mario Galaxy movie, right? Mario, he's always getting himself into such scrapes, you know? Scraping Mario, I think is what they call him. Now, immediately you can tell, whoa, the frame rate is not going to be able to stay steady. So we're pushing our poor Switch to its limits. Did this get a Switch 2 version? I think it did. I think Super Mario 3D World did. I'm trying to remember though, maybe not. This is if Mario went dark and gritty. What if Mario was rated M? I guess we're going this way. We gotta climb up this guy. Whoa, oh my gosh. Bowser is not happy. But don't worry, I got the cat shine. I don't know what does that imply? Is now shining through the paint. Get out of here, Bowser. He's got a little health bar that went down just a nudge. And he's back into the inky black abyss. Will we ever see him again? 8-bit Fire Mario. What the heck was that, everybody? And then a world rises up from the ground under. This game has one of my all-time favorite Mario songs. This song right here. Oh my gosh, it's heavenly. I shouldn't whistle along. I gotta let you guys listen to it. What's your deal, bro? Yeah, wow. He can't speak. They couldn't pay for Charles Martinet. It looks like Bowser Jr. is in trouble. Mario? Dad is out of control. I don't know what happened. Mario's like, see if I care. I tried to help him, but he's too big and mad. I can't change Dad back by myself. What's that got to do with me? I'd never asked for you for help. Never, ever. But I'll do anything to save Papa. So help me, Mario. Mario says, yep. I'll never say no. Bow! You've teamed up with Bowser Jr. But how much should he help you? So, we can choose a little help, or a lot of help, or none help. I'm going to say no help. There's one more thing to mention. If you share 2 Joy-Con controllers, a second person can play as Bowser Jr. Just select 2-player mode in the menu. Poor whittle guy. Exactly, poor little guy. Even though he's like my sworn enemy. He's quite literally the villain in the all-new Super Mario Galaxy movie in theaters April 1st, and no, this is not a joke. Oh, now I'm a poor will guy. Someone make me big again. Alright, let's make the lighthouse shine. Now I'm big. So you can see it's like mechanically based on Super Mario 3D World a bit, but it's way more of like a exploration game, you know what I mean? Like, typically you can't like walk around the levels in Super Mario 3D World like you can here. So I got one of 5 pieces. I think I'm supposed to be a cat right now, but I don't have the cat suit. I still haven't played this, just did 3D World. Yeah, and that's the problem, like, unfortunately for Wii U owners, which I was not, you are kind of, it is a little rude that, like, they've got, yeah, this Bowser's Fury expansion that you get for basically repurchasing the game you already own. Because, yeah, it's an excuse to repackage it. You know, it'd be kind of worse, I guess. Maybe if they just sold the game as is for full price, like Nintendo would be apt to do. Oops. But for me, I didn't own a Wii U, so it was pretty sweet. So yeah, we got a lot of the cat stuff, which is very, you know, was a big part of 3D World. The move set, a lot of the enemies is very much the same. Oh my gosh, why are you being so weird? Alright, let's try that again. Really? So it's my idea. What am I doing wrong? Am I stupid? I just got the timing wrong. Yeah, I was just being a little too cheeky, if you will. So that's 3. Let's see if we can find. What are we missing here? Oops. Hey, Bowser Jr., will you investigate? Okay. But yeah, after a certain amount of time, guess what? Bowser is back. And he is furious. And the frame rate has tanked considerably. And I'm a cat now. Yeah, check it out. While he was Bowser, he blew up these rocks, the Fury blocks. And just like we saw before, now that's gonna send Bowser away with the lighthouse shining at him, and he's lost a tiny bit more health. But otherwise, yeah, you gotta kind of run around and wait it out. Wait for him to go away or find one of these. And the whole time he's gonna be assailing you with flame stuff. Oh my gosh. God bless. Get on up here. Nope, get on up here. Look out. Alright, we're still looking for 2 more. Oh my gosh, the Goombas have cat ears and tail. Furry Goomba with cat ear and tail? Whoa. Okay, he was trying to be rude. I don't think I knew those guys had a tail. Cat shine. We're making the lighthouse shine. Oh. Alright. Oh no. Oh no. Can cats get wet? Is that allowed? Alright, there's our 5. And so we got 5 cat shine shards. Whoa. A little bit of corruption there. I don't think I was supposed to see that. So yeah, you can see the bands are lighting up on the lighthouse. So actually, it looks like there's 5 in just this little zone alone. Oh. I was trying to attack him, and he attacked me. So yeah. What else is there to explore? This sounds more like a Mickey Mouse song. So there's no backflip, huh? Instead, I just jump like this. This looks wrong. Oh, I did a front flip there. How do I do that? I did play a lot of 3D World, but I didn't, I don't know. I don't know how you would say you beat the game, because there's multiple like sort of like bonus kingdoms, if you will. But I made it through all the main ones. Beyond that, though, I don't know. I don't remember how far I got. Oh, I can't climb up there because it's got a lip. I don't know how to get up there. But I'm assuming that there's more to explore here. But you can see, like, over there, there's a whole other world. It was so hard. I spent like all day. I know. I remember you telling me that you beat it, like you had 100%ed it or whatever, and I was so impressed because I just could not imagine doing the same. But yeah, that was when I had at a certain point I was like, this is too hard for it to be fun for me. Looks like Bowser Jr. has more to say. Whoa, it's a Gigabell! I heard a cool saying about these. I think it was, when the beast rises, the Gigabell will ring, or something. Maybe we gotta get this splotchy goop off first. Some more cat shines might do the trick. We have 4. I'm missing 1. I just need 1 more. Oh my gosh, even the little birds have little ears. That's cute. Wait. Oh no! So yeah, in the distance back there, we can see Bowser's shell twitching and growing. Oh, wait a minute. That didn't count as... Oh, was that just one? Whoops. I ran all the way back thinking I had my sprite, but that didn't count. Huh? I can't backflip. What is this? What kind of a Mario game is this where I can't backflip? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Careful. Boomerang. Anybody else? What's in here? Another one of these. Awesome, I'll take it. Just jump down here. You guys hear that? It's not just me, right? Let's just wait a moment before I pick this up. Yo. Cat shine. Make the light out shine. Well, Bulldozer, Drake, you have my respect. 100%ing 3D World. But hey, at least I 100%ed Bowser's Fury. The lighthouse wants to bring something to light. That splotchy goop will vanish under the light of a cat shine, but some of those cat shines are a bit shy. If you can't find one, try looking on another island. Islands with lighthouses are usually hiding something. Get to a high up spot and look for one nearby. What is Bowser so furious about? War in Gaza. I think they explain that in the extra storybook panels for Super Mario Galaxy. But yeah, it completely changed the rating of the game. It was kind of odd. I'm not sure why they did that. Alright. We're here. We're at the Giga Bell. What do you want from me? We need more splotchy goop? Well, I'm not giving it to you. I'm logging off. This is it for me. Bowser's property taxes have risen too much. No, I just want an excuse to end on this song, so... I'm tired. I've had my fill of Mario. I hope you've enjoyed our sampling of the Mario 3D platter. Super Mario 64, great game. A must-play if you've never played it before. Super Mario Sunshine, really good. But a few fatal flaws for me personally. Maybe you'll disagree. Maybe playing with some triggers, 60 FPS will change your tune. Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, fantastic. Super Mario Galaxy 1 is so good, innovative, and very neat, but Galaxy 2 is just even more. A second helping with Yoshi, and the Yoshi stuff is fantastic. Super Mario Odyssey, I think it's my personal favorite. It's the best Mario game for me. The moveset is my favorite. I love all the locales and exploring. And Bowser's Fury, a neat little proof of concept. It's quite small, but it's fun, even if it's a little more 3D Mario coded for me. But that's going to do it for today's Mario Day celebration. Thanks for joining in, considering I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. And yeah, thanks for spending time with me. Hope you enjoyed hanging out, chatting, talking Mario and Nintendo. And we may have to return to some of these games and others. But next week we're going to be playing more God of War 2 for sure, and we got more Uncharted to play. So stick around, stay tuned for more video games from me on this channel. But until then, love ya, appreciate ya. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I hope you have enjoyed celebrating your Mario Day. But until next time, I'll be right here. I won't leave this seat for the next several days, and next thing you know, I'll be back going live. So may Mario bless you on September 30, the Mario Monks. See, I took too long to talk now, and now Bowser's coming back. Now Bowser's about to make fools of us all. So I have 5 shine sprites. Is that supposed to, like, do something when he shows up here, or... Doesn't really seem like it, huh? Oh, here we go. Now it's happening. Check it out, check it out. Wow. Now I'm huge. It's like a giant bell, like the little bell power-up. But we gotta load first. This is too much for our poor feeble Switch to comprehend. This is not my overclocked Switch, so... Whoa, Mario went Super Saiyan! Beat me into oblivion. forget to ground pound. I wasn't ground pounding, that was my problem. This is just like the fight with Ares in God of War 1. But see, look, it's the same little level, you know, we were all hanging out at before. Hide behind some geometry or something? I don't know. Get the flip out of here, Furious Bowser. He's so mad. There you go, we beat the game in one sitting, just like that. Cat-shaped rainbow, nice. I don't think that's technically possible. Meanwhile, more world? More Mario to play? Well, guys, looks like I'm staying up all night. Just kidding. I'm a lowly Mario Herald. Nadine started calling me Chloe, not just Fraser. Dude, that's huge. That's huge. That's progress. That's growth right there. He sank back into the lake, but trust me, it'll take more than that to beat my papa. We need to make him really see the light. The way to do that is to find more cat shines. More of that splotchy stuff went away, so there must be more islands to explore. Let's check the map and get going. Hurry up, Mario. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be doing more exploring. You can, this gives you kind of an idea of what the map size is like. It's not terribly huge, but... Oh yeah, I almost forgot something important. If you get lost, just press minus or right to bring up the map. Okay. Thanks for watching. Now I'm leaving for real with this awesome song. So keep enjoying. I flip up to 3 and says, whoa! Oh. Mystery Street. Come on. Yeah, we got lots to... I was just about to sign off, but it's great to see you. And, you know, there's lots of... I hope you're enjoying your Mario Day. It's March 10th, so Mario. This is what happens when Papa Bowser drinks too much. No, man, he's justifiably frustrated about what's happening in the Middle East. Like, I'm not... Thanks for joining in. Hope you've enjoyed this Mario celebration. And please enjoy the rest of this amazing song while I quickly sprint out of this room.